When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. OK Coin is one of the largest fiat to crypto trading platforms in the world. Founded in 2013, OK Coin offers advanced features for crypto beginners and high-volume traders alike, enabling users in 184 countries worldwide. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Howdy, baby. Yes, sir. Welcome aboard to beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, sir. The home of all kinds of great entertainment. Yes, you can bet on all the tracks all around the country. Of course, a little simulcast racing here at Champions. Of course, we're in the second floor poker room, and we got plenty of folks already enjoying a little poker. That's what she said. And, of course, we've got all the gaming action. Oh, man, we've got slots and slots and slots and lots of slots and the loosest slots in all of the state, actually, not just South Florida. So come on out to Hialeah Park and some good food, too. Yeah, I mean, Sean is a witness of the good breakfast and lunch and dinner. He's had, you've had all three meals here.
I've had all three meals. And the buffet is tremendous.
That's true. That's the boxing buffet. That's right. May 7th, by the way.
Yes.
Think about that. You're going to be
for that as well.
You're going to be in Vegas for buffets, and then you'll come back for a buffet and boxing.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to.
You didn't stop bragging about the buffet the last time on the boxing match.
No,
I'm not exactly sure what was more of a highlight for you, the buffet or the boxing.
Well, the boxing was great, but the buffet, food is near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. No, I could tell. I could tell you were big on the buffet, man.
It was.
Damn.
And the fact that, man.
Boxing and buffet, May 7th, right here at Hialeah Park. I mean, come on. You
Nothing
can't
better.
beat that, man.
2 knockouts.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. 2 knockouts. Exactly. That's what it's all about, man. So there you go. And we'll be giving away some tickets to the boxing match.
Yeah, and then also tickets do go on sale to the general public tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow.
Tax day.
So
Tax day's getting everything.
Exactly. Well, tomorrow we're at the CPAs.
Yes.
By the way, if you're late on your taxes, KSDT CPAs are waiting for you. We're going to be at their offices in Dadeland. They have offices in Dadeland and in Weston. So you can visit either one. You know what I'm saying?
Stop in and say hi.
Yeah, man. So, it's one of those deals. Anyway, so appreciate all of you, as always, tuning in. Anthony Chang is set to join us any minute now. He will be joining us. We got a loaded show, as always. Alan Poupar will stop by at 11:30. Marcel Louis Jacques at 12:30. At 1 o'clock, we have David Dwork will be joining us to talk a little Panthers. Damn it, dude. The Avalanche won yesterday. They won 9-3, bro. I was like, come on, Kings, do something, bro. Like, help us out here, man. Come
No help at
on.
all.
Huh?
None. No help at all.
None, dude. The Kings got their asses walloped yesterday. I mean, that was crazy. Anyway, so hope you all are doing well out there. Remember, you can always reach out to us on the Welt and Rayom text line at 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 for the law firm you need to call. You need to call if you have some issues. Bankruptcy, criminal defense, property damage. Maybe a car goes through your wall or something. You never know, you just there's many reasons to call Welton Realm. Saying, call them before you call the plumber. Call them before you call the insurance company. Call them before you call anybody that you're going to make a claim for. Call them first. And if the insurance company, by the way, you're dealing with right now is not doing their job, you call Welton Realm too. They'll straighten out that damn insurance company also. So just giving you guys a little scoopage there so you can take advantage of a little Welton Realm. So 855-912-1056 is the Welton Realm text line. That's the text line. If you want to reach Welton Realm, it's 954-466. No, it's 966-4646. 966-4646 for Welton Realm. Big O, after listening to David Dwork and you talk hockey, it has me becoming more and more invested in the sport. I never really checked out hockey until now. I'm a big Panthers fan now. There we go, DMB. We like to hear that, bro. And now we got to get you out to a game. That's when it becomes a drug. Okay? Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, look, you're starting bandwagons all over the place.
There we go. Crypto.
Yep.
Panthers,
Tua.
That's right. We start all kinds of bandwagons. Damn straight. The Nature B bandwagon. We got a bunch of people. I see a lot of you are ordering Nature B, and I know you're feeling it now because Nature B's been on with us now 2 months. So some of you that have been taking Nature B now for a few weeks, you're also feeling that. So there you go. We're starting the Nature B bandwagon, and at the beginning of next month, I will unveil how I have been able to regrow my hair, and actually, it's thicker everywhere. Actually, it's grown not just here. See, this is where the human yarmulke is, and see all the hair. Not just the natural yarmulke, but everywhere else has kind of grown too. So, we will be revealing that in May, also with our sponsor. So there you go. Problem is they had to make sure that they have the hat thing that you need, the stuff that you're going to put on. They got to make sure they have it in stock because this is one of the things for supplies and all that for companies to reload anything, dude. Nowadays, God bless, bro, it's a pain in the ass. I feel bad for businesses. It's really hard nowadays with everything that's gone on. All right, let's get into a little Miami Heat discussion. Yeah, baby. It's our liquor split Miami Heat report with Anthony Chang.
Let's tap into the latest with the Miami Heat and our liquor split app Miami Heat reports with insider Anthony Chang. Liquor Split is Miami's own online liquor store. Download, then tap the app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split. Here's Anthony Chang.
Anthony Chang, who you can, of course, catch here exclusively twice a week here with our Liquor Split Miami Heat reports, as Sean Stanley has them blocked off with the Hialeah, but now he's got the billboard up.
It's better that way.
We are Liquor Split, baby. So tap that app, download the app, Liquor Split, and while you're watching the NBA playoffs, man, you can order your favorite drinks right there to your home. $2.99 flat fee, no hidden fees, and $1 goes to solving homelessness in Miami. So you're also doing a good thing while you're taking care of yourself too in the process. So while you order that Grey Goose, you're also doing a good thing. All right. So how you feeling, man? You feeling good?
Doing well. I'm ready for Sunday.
I know.
I
I
can't wait
know.
for it to get here already. So it's been a long wait already. It's a couple more days still.
Well, we had the Hawks defeat the Hornets now. So now we've got the Hawks and the Cavs for the rights to get their asses kicked by the Miami Heat. So that'll be fun. You know, I'm watching that game last night, and I'm just wondering, does Michael Jordan ever sit back and say, God damn, I suck as an executive? I mean, seriously. I mean, it's just as good as he was as a player, and he could talk trash, and he was the greatest, and he's the GOAT, and he's, I think he's the best of all time. But man, as an executive, Anthony, holy
Yeah.
crap, I'm watching that team, and it's the 10th seed. And how long's he been the leading executive of that team? Over 10 years now, and the Hornets can't accomplish jack crap. It reminds me of John Elway can't find a quarterback. It's just it's amazing how these great players they just don't have the eye to be a great, basketball operations man, in other words.
Yeah, I mean, the best they do is usually just clawing into the playoffs and an early first round exit, and they've gotten some things right. I mean, LaMelo Ball looks pretty good. Miles Bridges is pretty good, but they need some defense. They need some defense on that team.
Yeah, but it's like 15 years. You finally have a couple of decent picks. That's pathetic, actually.
It has not been good. The track record has not been good. I mean, it's a small market. They don't draw a lot of free agents. That doesn't help him. You would think Michael Jordan would just him alone would be a draw, but it hasn't worked out that way. So yeah, I mean, you can't. Charlotte has not been an NBA power or Eastern Conference power. It's like a 7 seed. Usually is a good season for them. And again, losing in the first round is pretty much the expectation with them at this point.
That's crazy, man. I just you watch that and it's like, man, I just don't get that.
Yeah.
And at one point or another, I get your ego, hell, he still talks like he can play, So, man, are you man enough to at least look in the mirror and say, I need to step the hell away from this thing and just hire a basketball person. I need to be like a regular owner. Just step back completely and stay away from the whole thing. How much influence does he still have in the basketball operations? Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not around that team day to day, but I would think Michael Jordan, like if he owns a team, he's gonna want to be involved in the basketball side. I mean, it's like you can't tell Michael Jordan, no, just stay out of basketball, we'll handle it. So that's the issue. Like when Michael Jordan is your owner, he's gonna be very involved in the basketball side of things. So, as long as he's there, I don't see that changing, no matter what the results are.
All right. So if you're a Heat fan, do we look at something for more entertainment, or do you look at it like who's the easier out or something? I look at those. I mean, I'm watching the Hawks win, and Trae Young, dude, shot 8 of 24 and 1 of 7 from 3-point range. That, my friend, is not what we call efficiency. And so it was very Allen Iverson-ish. You know what I mean? It's kind of what it reminded me of. I know I'm dating myself a little bit, and you're a little younger for that, but it just kind of
watched AI. Yeah, I watched AI.
You were able to catch the back end of AI.
Back end, yeah.
Yeah, the back end. So he was one of those guys that he was a hell of a talent, but it wasn't efficient. And when I'm watching that last night, I'm not watching a threat. So if you're a Heat fan, how do we look at Cavs and Hawks?
I don't know if there's one is that much different than the other. Obviously the matchups are different, but I don't think one team is a lot better than the other. I think the spread tomorrow is like 1.5 points or 2 points or something like that, and that sounds about right. I think Atlanta's favored. They're pretty close. So if I'm a Heat fan, I don't know if I have a preference. I mean, maybe the more entertaining series is Atlanta because it's Trae Young. You remember this, the New York Trae Young storyline last season in the playoffs where he was kind of fun to like.
Well, we can against using Caleb Martin. We might as well unleash him for that at least.
Yeah.
That's a reason to use Caleb Martin now.
Right.
I think
that's probably the more entertaining series just because of Trae Young. But honestly, I don't know if it makes much of a difference. I'm expecting that series will be over pretty quick either way, whether it's Cleveland or Atlanta.
Collins back for that series?
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously he didn't play last night.
Right.
I haven't heard that he's close to return. I don't know if it's been ruled out.
Okay.
But yeah, that makes a big difference. If Collins can't play, that's huge for them because he was such a big part of their run last season. I
Right.
mean, you could say that Atlanta is probably. I mean, I would think Atlanta's probably the better team of the two because they
Yeah.
made a run last year to the
And
East Conference
experience. Right.
Finals and
Right.
experience, and they have the best player among the two teams. I think Trae Young is still the best player. When you look at those two teams, but I still think the Heat are on a different level in both those teams. It's pretty obvious.
No, yeah, there's no doubt. It looks like Spo said that expect Tucker to play, which I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
But I was thinking about this. What are we just talking about? There's no rush.
there isn't. Yeah,
So if Tucker is borderline ready, then no, dude, there's no crossing the borderline. You stay. You keep getting treatment, PJ. We don't need you in this series, dude. That's the other thing. We're talking about this. This isn't a matchup. This isn't a matchup whether Tucker plays or not. So that's the other thing. We're such in a rush and talking about Tucker. I don't believe there should be any rush to get Tucker back into this first round at all. How
yeah,
about
I
you?
agree. I agree with you. I think obviously Spo said that yesterday, and PJ, that's not a surprise. I mean, he didn't want to rest on the stretch of the regular season because he
Right.
just likes to play.
But you
So
have to
I'm not
protect them
shocked.
from themselves, dude.
But you have to
That's the
protect them
part.
from themselves. And it's like you said, I totally agree. I would not be surprised if he plays, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play game one because, like you
I
said,
wouldn't
what's
play
the
him the
rush?
series. I wouldn't
What's the
play him the whole
rush?
series, dude. Let him rest because you
Yeah,
can smoke these fools without him, and then but push them out early, and maybe you're still waiting a couple of extra
couple.
days for your
Yeah,
next round, and you can sit back and buy more time for PJ. It's not like PJ needs to play. He's such a
right.
pro. He'll be ready the next time he takes the court. So I'm not that concerned.
Yeah, you have to with this team and their goals. You have to look at the big picture.
Yeah.
And the fact that PJ wasn't a full participant in practice, he just shot on the side yesterday. I mean, he's obviously not healthy enough to practice right now. So, is he healthy enough to play in a playoff game in 3 days, or is it worth the risk of him playing in a playoff game in 3 days? I mean, that's a question you have to ask. And is it, again, if you needed him, it'd be a different story. For this
And
matchup, you probably don't need him, and you have Caleb Martin, who could do a lot of things he does and is very good. So,
and let's also look at it this way. This is a guy you need him for the back end, not the
yeah,
front end of all of this. So it's really you have to, like you just said, you have to think big picture. It has to be macro, not micro here. Playing him now, it's and I'll give you more proof why maybe he doesn't even play in this series or he barely plays at all. What's the Heat's MO lately? They don't rush players back at all anymore. I don't even know if I remember the days when they used to rush players back. Might have been back years ago. But nowadays, their
yeah.
MO lately has been patience in everybody that has some kind of a setback. Anthony, you cover it every day. They don't rush anybody back anymore.
They don't. I mean, obviously the playoffs is different in the regular season, but
Sure.
it's like we said, this first round. I'm not trying to overlook it. Anything could happen, but you would think if you don't, PJ Tucker is not the difference in this first round, right? So, again, if he's not 100%, I don't know. I mean, maybe they do play him. Maybe PJ insists on playing. The one thing I do know is the calf strain. Calf strains could take months to heal. His was the most minimal kind of calf strain, so that's
Okay.
good news. He was shooting yesterday, making threes. He wasn't obviously going hard in practice. He wasn't doing 5-on-5 work, but he was shooting on the court. So maybe the injury is just not as bad as it seems, and he can play. But if there's any doubt, I'm with you. I wouldn't play him for the first game, or maybe not even the whole series, because you need him guarding Giannis. You need him guarding Kevin Durant. You need him guarding all those players in the back end, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And you want him against Milwaukee
Yeah,
because he's going to know that team better than anybody else. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And so it's just one of those things. Remember, you can download the Liquor Split app, iOS or Android. You can order your favorite drinks and snacks, all kinds of different things. So you can get ready for any of the games, or maybe you have a business meeting. You forgot to order that scotch, that whiskey, that wine, that vodka. You can order at Liquor Split all kinds of elixirs like Edge energy drink, which you can mix it with your Tito's, with your Grey Goose, with your rum, all kinds of stuff at Liquor Split. All right, Anthony, what are there any other injury concerns at all that we should be worried about right now?
Not really. I mean, obviously, Bam on a bio and protocols.
Right, yeah, but that's not
The
an
expectation is he's going to be back, probably for Saturday's practice, which that's the big practice, right? Because that's the day they're going to know their opponent. And that's where they're going to install a lot of what they're going to do to start the series. So I'd be surprised if Bam isn't ready for game one. So really, PJ Tucker's really the only one that I guess is kind of up in the air at this point, even though he says he's going to play.
How deep do you think he goes? Because that's the one thing that, you know how it is with the rotations in the playoffs. It gets tightened up. How far down does he go into the rotation? And Oladipo, what kind of, is he a situational player or is he a rotational player?
I think he sticks with a 9-man rotation. I mean, that's what they've used now for most of the season. I think they'll stick with it. I think Victor is going to be a situational player. It's what we've talked about for the past few weeks, Big O, where they're trying to complement Bam and Jimmy. And I'm not sure if Victor does that better than Duncan, better than Gabe Vincent at this point. But I do think there will be moments they'll need Victor. There'll be moments they need Markieff. Maybe if they play a smaller team like Brooklyn, doesn't play, their backup 5 isn't a true 5. Instead of Dedmon, Markieff is playing at center. So I think there'll be matchups. Those guys will be needed. But I do not believe there'll be consistent rotation players, to start the playoffs.
Let me ask you a question because I was going to bring this up. And I don't want it to sound derogatory, but it will sound a little bit derogatory towards this person. But I don't mean it to be. But I do have to say, does it, I don't know, take a little bit of the shine, let's just say just a tiny bit of shine off. So Greg Popovich yesterday lost.
Right.
And got eliminated from the playoffs. So Greg Popovich obviously is one of the great coaches of all time, had one of the great runs of all time. But he had that run with a specific group of players. So when you start talking and comparing Greg Popovich to other great coaches in the history of the game, let me just go locally right here in our backyard. And let's just go to Pat Riley. So Pat Riley won with the Lakers. Yeah, with that group of players. But then he went to New York and built another franchise that got to the finals, then came to Miami and has built several teams and took one and won in the finals in 2006. So he's won titles with multiple teams. So yesterday they approached Pops about the question about retirement, and he called it an inappropriate question at that moment. And I understand his point of view.
Sure.
But it looks like he might be close to it. If Pops does not achieve greatness with a different team, does that take a little shine off of him when we start comparing him to other coaches? Which, by the way, I'll start to add, i.e., their Mr. Eric Spoelstra,
right?
Who now, won with the big 3, got to the bubble with the youngins, is now with another team that if he gets to the finals and if he actually wins it, I'm just telling you, I am going to be slightly more impressed with someone that has done it with a different version and a different team. Again, I don't want to take anything away from Pops and his accomplishment. But if I'm going to compare him to other coaches, one of the things I always say in football, everybody, and I know it's blasphemous in this city to say this, but everybody says that Don Shula, the greatest accomplishment is 17-0, right? I disagree. Joe Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the
hard to do.
Accomplishment by any head coach in the history of the NFL is Joe Gibbs. 3 Super Bowls, 3 titles, 3 different quarterbacks, proving that his system, his players made the quarterback or helped the quarterback win the Super Bowl. So for me, that's the greatest accomplishment. So if I'm going to say that, I'm going to stay consistent with this, right? So I'm
Yeah.
thinking about this last night, and I'm going, well, dude, am I out of place here thinking Riley and Spo a little better than Pops? So talk to me now on this
I
long
mean,
drawn out question.
it's fair. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think Popovich's situation is so unique because how long were they on top for? Like all those guys spent their entire careers with the Spurs.
Right.
With Spo and Riley, we're talking about
No, Riley did it with the Magic. I mean, with the Lakers for 10 years. Easy.
yeah.
10
Yeah.
plus years. They won what? Five or four titles?
I'm just saying the
No,
eras
no,
were
four. One was West Paul. The first one was West Paul. He won the following four after that.
The era, like for Spo, the big three was 4 years, right? I mean, the eras are so quick. With Pop, he really hasn't had much of a chance. I mean, he had David Robinson, then Tim Duncan came, and then Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. Like it was just continuous. Where I mean, it had a run of what 20 years where they were ahead with one group. So he didn't really have a chance to do it with another group. Now he does. Again, a big difference is the market, right? The market is different. It's easier to draw guys to Miami, New York, and LA.
Yeah, you haven't. Yeah, in other words, you haven't sucked, so you can end up with the number one pick twice.
Right. Yes, that's fair. But
you end up with David Robinson. He gets injured, so you
Yes.
end up with Tim Duncan. I mean, it's
Yeah.
reventa, as we say in Spanish.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a different way of building a team there. I mean, that's the thing with the NBA. Like every team has to build their roster differently based on your market, based on if you can get free agents, and it's just the truth of the matter.
When it comes to being an architect,
Yeah.
the Pops Riley, that's not even a conversation. That's not even a discussion. Riley kicks his ass 800 times over because he did it in New York and Miami.
Yeah, sure.
And Pop only did it one time. I mean, he did it one great time with that one group, but he's never done it with any different groups.
Yeah.
Whereas, we've watched it with Riley. Oh crap. Zoe goes down with a kidney ailment. Oh, I'll trade for Mason and win 50 games still.
Yeah.
That shit like that that's impressive.
Pat has been incredible, just reinventing the Heat from
amazing
era to era. I mean, just even this last 4 or 5 years. I mean, you look 5 years ago when Dwayne Wade left to now, to what this team is now, the way they hit on first round picks, the way they signed these, undrafted players or guys out of the G League and made them into quality rotation guys, and got Jimmy Butler without cap space and got Kyle Lowry in a sign-in. Like, it's incredible. And that's Pat Riley, that's Andy Ellisberg, that's Adam Simon, that's Eric Spoelstra. I mean, it's just those guys have been there for so long for a reason, because they know what they're doing. It's amazing that the Heat has been able to keep them for so long. But good thing for the Heat.
Yeah. Andy Rivas says, crazy that Big O has the audacity to say Spoelstra is better than Pop. Duncan and Robinson is a totally different team than Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili. Sir, they never won anything with Duncan and Robinson, Andy Rivas. I should block you just for being stupid. They didn't win anything until Parker and these guys got there, okay?
You should have known what you were getting into, Big O, when you started
come on,
blasphemy against Greg Popovich.
I mean, they did win with the little guard. What's his name? That he was the coach.
Avery Johnson?
Yeah, and then and Ginobili was young, and Parker then joined and all that, but that's when they took off with those guys.
Right.
I mean, they won with Duncan and Robinson, and then Robinson left, and Duncan carried it all the way. He won with one team. One team.
And those guys stayed together.
Never. I know they changed, which is that's what Riley had in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You kept Magic, you kept Worthy, you kept Kareem, you kept Byron. Is it Byron? Scott.
Coach
Byron Scott.
Yeah.
You kept certain guys around for a long time, but then you never were. You didn't get to reinvent yourself there because you ended up obviously leaving. But then you reinvent yourself in New York. That's my point, which Rivas doesn't get. Pops has never reinvented himself with another championship team.
Yeah.
Duncan was the guy, the centerpiece for all his championships. So he never went with anybody else. Whereas Riley won it with Magic, then went to the finals with a team that really kind of questionable. With that kind of offense, that shooting, to get to the finals is amazing. And then you get to the finals with Miami. And that's 3 different versions of teams. Plus, the teams that didn't get to the finals with Zoe and Timmy, who were really, really put it this way, Pops hasn't had success outside of the Duncan teams, at least like Timmy and Zoe did.
Yeah, I just think I think it's fair. Yeah, I think it's fair what you're saying. He hasn't had the opportunity. I mean, it's like he hasn't been to another team. He hasn't coached another team. He hasn't moved around.
It now. He's doing it now over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He's had since how long has he been coaching now post Duncan now? What is this, like 6 years now?
Probably like 6-7 years, I would say. Yeah.
Dude, Riley turns over teams in 6 years.
Yeah.
In 6 years, he got rid of the bums of Whiteside and all that and was able to turn over a team. Yeah. That's what Andy Rivas doesn't understand, of course, because he's blinded by the oh my God, it's Pops. You shouldn't say anything. Oh, it's blasphemous to say that. No, it's not, dude. I'm being fair here.
You won a gold medal with Team USA.
You think Spo's not going to win a gold medal too?
I'm kidding.
All right, what are you working on the Herald so folks can check you out, man?
Practice over the next few days. We're leading up to game 1. Once we know the team, we will have full preview, matchups, who they're playing against, what the series is going to look like. So I'm awaiting kind of Friday night to kind of get to work with all these like the preview stuff, because we don't know who they're going to play. So that's something to look out for. And just obviously the PJ Tucker updates, Bam Adebayo, we're still waiting, for him to clear. So just a lot of kind of things to tie up before the start of the playoffs.
Well, we look forward to you talking to Spo and ask him, hey, how impressive is it that you've been able to display winning with different teams, unlike Popovich, who's only done it with one team? Just, we look forward to that question and answer.
I'll do that today. Okay. I'll say the question was submitted by Orlando Alzagari.
That part he'll believe, by the way. That part he'll believe. All right, follow him on Twitter at Anthony_Chang. And, of course, catch his exceptional work there at the Miami Herald every single day. And subscribe like I do. Support our local journalists, please. Anthony, thank you, my brother. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
As always, see you soon. All right.
Got it. There you go. The great Anthony Chang. And don't forget, download the Liquor Split app, iOS or Android, Liquor Split, and have your favorite liquor, drinks, chips, snacks delivered to you. Flat fee of $2.99. Liquor Split.
You're now tapped into the latest with the Miami Heat. This has been the Miami Heat Liquor Split Report with insider Anthony Chang. Download the Liquor Split app and enjoy your favorite drinks at wholesale prices. Delivered right to your door in minutes with a flat fee of $2.99. VIP lifestyle without the VIP prices. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
Here we go. All right. Andy says longevity is maybe more inspiring than jumping around. Spo didn't jump around. See? So that's where I cut you off, my brother. You said Spo. You were jamming on me on Spo. Spo's not jumping around. Last time I checked, he's only been with the Heat, and he's actually had more success than Pops with different teams. Pops won titles with the same guy, Tim Duncan. Same guy. Spo has actually gone to the finals without the same guys. Pops has never been to the finals without Tim Duncan. Get my drift? So that one you're wrong. He's in a tiny market compared to major markets. Timmy and Zoe didn't win shit, but they got to the championship of the conference. Has Popovich been to the championship of the Western Conference without Tim Duncan, Andy Rivas? See, the problem, Andy, is you're not understanding the discussion, my brother. So I have wasted enough time with that. Jim Gleason, always a pleasure to be listening into the best in the biz. Big O, it's a beautiful thing. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Duncan Robinson, Elliot Johnson, 99 Spurs were stacked. Yeah, dude, he's only won with Duncan. Duncan was the guy. It's the guy that's carried the whole thing from the get-go. That's all I'm saying. Popovich is one of the great coaches of all time. But if I'm going to go Popovich or Riley, I'm way more impressed with Riley by miles. It's like not even close. Not even close. It's success with 3 different teams. It's building his own teams constantly. Not even close. I've always said this. Riley, Phil Jackson. Phil can have all those titles, bro. He doesn't hold a candle to Pat Riley. Not even close, because he didn't build any of those teams himself either. Whereas Riley has coached what Jerry West built, and then he coached what he built in New York and in Miami, which is a whole different ball game. So the problem is you have to understand the conversation. And I haven't seen Pops outside of Duncan have any deep success. So that's what the conversation's all about. So that's why we went into that direction. And when I saw yesterday them get eliminated in the press conference and Pops didn't want to address retirement, that's what crossed my mind. Like, yeah, he's been phenomenal. But I got to say, there are a couple things that I'm more impressed with. I might be more impressed with the guy that's had success with different. Hey, Belichick is now on the clock now, right? He won with Brady. Brady won with him and without him. Right? So we need to see Belichick get there. Like, what did I tell you about Joe Gibbs? He won Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. So Belichick is the GOAT. He's amazing. Okay, show me you can do it with somebody else now, dude. Show me you can get there again with somebody else and win it. That's impressive when you can do something like that. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't take away from the greatness, but I can take a little shine away from it. I can say Belichick has all those titles. Still more impressed with Joe Gibbs. Right? Bill Walsh had a system. He won with Joe Montana, and then he left it in place basically so Seifert can win it with Steve Young. He really would have won it anyway, but I almost feel like Seifert's championship reminds me of Barry Switzer's championship with the Cowboys. Like, I don't really give Barry Switzer any credit. That's really Jimmy's team that won it, that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, I'm a little more impressed with the coach that can turn over the roster and then have the success with somebody else. That to me is super impressive. Because that tells me now all of a sudden you didn't just fall into, okay, oh yeah, you coach Magic and Kareem and all that. Well, no, wait, hold on a second, bro. I'll go to New York. And yeah, John Starks isn't the greatest shooter, but I'll still get to the NBA Finals. Oh, wait a minute, you're not impressed? Okay, I'll move down to Miami. And I'll build multiple teams and I'll win multiple titles. That's impressive. If you don't understand that, I can't help you. But to me, that's impressive. That's where I would give him a little extra love. If Pops can show me big success without the big 3, then let's see. Without Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker, go out there and have some success. Go win another championship. Big O, how would you rank the top 5 greatest head coaches of all time? Or what are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. What sport are we talking about? Are we talking about all sports? Are we talking about just one sport? What specific sport are you talking about? Popovich would not win in the Jordan era. No. Well, dude, if he has that team, Tony, he's going to win in any era. It's a great team, dude. Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan that's a threesome those are Hall of Famers. They're all Hall of Famers. Those guys could win in any era. It's a great, great team. I'm not taking away anything from that team. The team could compete at any time. Tim Duncan was the most efficient big man in the history of the game. Shaq, by the way, gave him the greatest nickname ever, the Big Fundamental. Because Tim Duncan's the perfect player, bro. Perfect player. My Lord. Talk about one of the most cerebral and smartest players I have ever seen in my life. Tim Duncan's a monster, man. Always calm, cool, collective, and 99.9% of the time made the right play. Tim Duncan would have won in any era. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking away anything there. All I'm saying is he's a great, great coach. I would have liked to have seen him have some success with another team that wasn't those guys, like I've watched other coaches do. That's all. No need to get butt hurt. Steve Chapman says, I've been on to Belichick from the beginning. A 500 coach without Brady, never won a playoff game without Brady. He's a good coach, but so are a lot of others. Well, we'll see. Seifert was a good coach, Big O. Stop it. Yeah, Irving, he rode the coattails of Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh left him a system that was all in place and perfect. And to me, watching him and Barry Switzer, they kind of just picked up from two great coaches that left something that was already entrenched and set. If I'm going to be impressed with Barry Switzer, go win somewhere else in the NFL without those guys. Right? Both those guys. Show me that you could do it somewhere else without that situation that you were in. And you did it. You got lightning in a bottle. You landed in the right place at the right time. But I'm not going to put George Seifert and Barry Switzer at the NFL level, like, just because they won a title. I know why they won a title. They were left everything just perfect for you to win a title. Let's see. He won 2 Super Bowls, especially one with a different QB. Who won 2 Super Bowls? What are you talking about? You're not talking about Seifert, right? Seifert only won 1, the Steve Young one. That's it. What else do we have? Carlos says, good morning, family. Thank you, God, for another day of listening to my show with my man, Big O. Thank you, sir. Carlos, very nice of you. Too nice of you. I appreciate it. Brian Doherty says, morning, Big O. Heading to Joshua Tree this weekend. Missed Wolf by a week. We'll send pictures. Thank you. Yeah, man. Definitely send pictures. Post them on our Twitter page at Big O Show. All right? I'd love to see it. Let's see. What else do we have? Sebastian says, bro, Duncan won in 99, not that far from the Jordan era. I don't know. I mean, I'm not taking any shots at that. Duncan would have won in any era, bro. He's a great player. That team would have won in any era. What do you need to move if you are successful where you are, Big O? Oh, why do you need? I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you're right. No need to move. Correct. Yep. Seifert was like Erickson and Coker. Good coach, inherited great team, but couldn't maintain for the long haul, right? Because they weren't those guys. You are correct, sir. What do we got? Who? With who? Oh, yeah, no, but that's assistant coach. Really? They won 2? They beat San Diego. He was the coach. So Walsh only won 3 and he won 2? I don't know. That's Wikipedia. This is wrong. This is wrong. No, no. No. He only won 1. Look up something more official. I'm pretty sure that George Seifert only won 1 title, the Steve Young title. He won the Steve Young title. All the Montana titles are all Bill Walsh. I'm 1,000% sure of that. That Wikipedia, you can't follow Wikipedia. That's not facts. I'm pretty sure that that's not true. And then whoever said 2, you probably also went to Wikipedia also. Yeah. Yeah, he won with Montana as an assistant, but he wasn't the head coach. He was the head coach for the young one. I don't believe he was the head coach for any of the what's it called? Just look at the championships on Pro Football Reference. Okay, they have them. Let me see. 89. See, 89. What do we have here? Where are we at? Says Seifert, 89. Wow. Then my memory shot me on this one. If that's true, not 89 and what other one? And 94? They got me on this one. Steve Young, Marshall Falk. You see? Super Bowl champion, 94. What's that? No, I don't. If I remember correctly, Walsh retires. He takes over, and then they win shortly they win right after. That's what I thought I remembered. I got to tell you something. Seifert, it says Seifert won 2 Super Bowls, one after Bill Walsh retired in 90, and the 94 with Steve Young. You know what? I don't remember him winning with Joe Montana at all. I don't remember that at all, dude. Wow. That's good. Walsh retired in 89, right. And so then he won right after. That I remember. I thought that was the Steve Young one. So that was a Montana one. And then a couple of years later, they won the Steve Young one with the airplane game. And he's running around like an airplane. Damn. Okay. So that means, dude, I always thought Walsh won 4, not 3. That's weird. I thought Walsh, Knoll, and who was obviously Belichick already passed it. Right? Yeah, Walsh, Knoll. So it wasn't Walsh. So only Knoll and Belichick are 4-time winners, if I'm correct, right? No, well, yeah, no, well, Lombardi won a bunch, but he won when it was an NFL championship, not the Super Bowl. He won the first 2 Super Bowls, then he left football. So he has multiple championships like those guys, but not Super Bowls. He only has 2. So it's only Knoll.
It's Belichick with his. Chuck Noll has 4. Joe Gibbs 3. Bill Walsh 3. And
I would have thought, you know what? For years, I had in my mind that Bill Walsh won 4 and Seifert won 1. I don't know why I've been thinking that forever.
yeah, Chuck Noll went 4-0 in Super Bowls. Joe Gibbs 3-1, and Bill Walsh 3-0.
Yeah.
So when they went there, they won.
Yeah. Those guys were badasses. They were amazing. Wow. You know that? I didn't remember Seifert winning 2 of them. My bad. I got to give Seifert a little more love then. Damn. He did pretty good there. Still set up by Walsh because he made the move for Steve Young for Montana, but wow. You know what? And so now I'm thinking it was Seifert that pushed Montana out to Kansas City. I thought it was Walsh. Wow. Man.
I think he came back as an analyst for the 49ers, so maybe you're intertwining some of
I don't know what.
discussion.
I got to tell you something. I don't. The way I remembered it, I thought it was Walsh that won the 4th one, and I thought it was Walsh that sent Montana out to Kansas City because he had Steve Young. He had traded for him. He already had him for a couple of years. Steve Young was sitting there behind Montana waiting for his opportunity, waiting forever for his opportunity. Let's see. What else do we have? I've learned I can't trust my memory at my age. I'm normally pretty good, actually. I'm normally pretty good. I'm not as bad as my man Omar. Did you see what happened with Omar now? Did you see that?
I saw the tweet this morning.
So Omar, right? So somebody calls out Omar because his weak ass list about Van Ginkel, right? And he had guys there that can't even play the same position that Van Ginkel plays and all that. You guys could go on. We talked about it. So one of the guys calls out Omar, right? And Omar goes to me, well, no, the conversation is because O said that Van Ginkel is one of the guys that needs to be franchised. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I never even talked about franchise. The conversation was that Chris does a good job, Greer, with the late round picks. And he started mentioning a couple of the busts, okay, fine. So I started mentioning a couple of the good ones. And I mentioned Van Ginkel. And he says Van Ginkel's just a guy. And there's 10 free agents better than Van Ginkel right now, which it's not true. And he gave me a list, which there's several guys there that just are not better than Van Ginkel. Okay. And it's just, and really, he ends up misremembering, I guess, like Roger Clemens, and saying that I said that Van Ginkel deserves a franchise tag. And I'm like, where did I say that? The conversation was later picks because he was jamming on the 1 year with Tua and that first round. And he says, well, you can't do that. They're all busts. And I said, well, Tua's not a bust yet. And then Raekwon Davis and Brandon Jones were also in that draft. And I said, well, and they've also hit on later picks. And I mentioned Van Ginkel, and he says, oh, Van Ginkel's nothing. Just a guy, nothing. Which is not true. Van Ginkel's played well. And he says, no, there's 10 guys in free agency. I said, go ahead, go ahead. So he made up a list, because that's what he did with that list. He made it up. Because if you look at that list, those 10 guys are not better than Van Ginkel. A couple guys you can make the argument. Hell, he even put Jadeveon Clowney, who you can't even play him the same way you play Van Ginkel. Like, there's no way you can do the things you do with Van Ginkel with Clowney. And by the way, Van Ginkel also helps you out on special teams. So he's a two-way player. Some of those guys weren't even two-way players. Some of those guys you wouldn't even want in coverage, i.e. Jadeveon Clowney. You only mentioned franchise as a possible way to keep him. No, I didn't say that. I never said to franchise him. Go back. It's at the 40-minute mark. That's the other thing I did. I went back to listen to it to make sure, because I know I didn't say franchise. You don't franchise him. I listened to the thing. The conversation was that those guys, the conversation was, does he do good later on? And yes, he does. They have several picks that have worked out for them later on. And Van Ginkel as a 5th rounder is a good pick right now. That's all I said. It was a good pick. Go listen to it. It's in the 40-minute mark. It's pretty clear. And Sebastian says, or not the franchise tag, just tag. Yeah, you can do a transitional tag with him. Yeah, you can do that with him next year. Of course you can. That I agree. You can do something like, not a franchise tag because he's not that kind of player. But there's a lesser tag you probably could do it. If he has a good year this year and you've got to protect yourself, you can put some kind of a tag on him, not a franchise tag. Of course not. But again, in that conversation was already assuming he was going to have a crap year, which is like, the kid's played well the last couple of years, man. And 2 years ago, he was phenomenal. Last year, he didn't have as good a year. He started slow, and then he picked up in the second half of the season. But, I mean, it's a good pick for a later pick. Let's see. Bills 49ers would have been a great Super Bowl that year. Going to be hilarious when when the Dolphins are a Tannehill away from being relevant. Well, they don't have a Tannehill, so that's a good thing. What else do we have here? Giants got lucky in 90 that Montana got hurt in the playoff game. Yeah, that back injury. That's what ended his run with the Niners. That's why they got rid of him, because of the back. NorCal says under 80 likes, 251 listen. Let's do Big O a solid and hit the like button. Yeah, baby. Yes, hit that like button. Let me see. Let me refresh. See how much we have here. Yep, we have 81. Let's go. Smash it, baby. Let's see. What else do we have on here to talk about on the program? By the way, again, Nature Bee, proud sponsor of our program. Those 2 golden capsules, I take it every day to power me, give me the energy I need all day long. 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals and powerful antioxidants. And, of course, it comes from Clean Green New Zealand, from Mother Nature. No chemicals, no preservatives, no nothing. It is all natural and great for kids, great for adults. You're going to love it. Helps your digestion, helps with so many things. Energy, boosting the immune system. Your nails will grow stronger and faster. Your hair will grow faster also. I mean, there's so many things. And, of course, after you have lunch, you come back to work and you start to feel a little bogged down. Well, with Nature Bee, you're going to see that it's going to power you through that afternoon. And you won't even be falling asleep when you're driving home, too, sometimes. So improved digestion and regularity. How about this? It eases those squeaky joints and some of those sports injuries. 2 golden capsules is all you need, folks. You can have a little bit of a healthier life. And remember, we live in a virus-filled world right now. So even if you're vaccinated or boosted, you still got to protect yourself. Take those 2 golden capsules from Nature Bee. Order it online, naturebee.com. Get free shipping with my code right there, Big O. Use the code Big O and get free shipping, naturebee.com. There you go. Hour number 2 from Hialeah Park is next.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them.
With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation.
Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Sport Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. Expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to Caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. OK Coin is one of the largest fiat to crypto trading platforms in the world. Founded in 2013, OK Coin offers advanced features for crypto beginners and high-volume traders alike, enabling users in 184 countries worldwide. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it. The Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hialeah Park, hour number 2 here on the program. Sean Stanley mastering it. By the way, May 7th on Saturday, una gran noche de boxeo cubano number 2, baby. It is coming Saturday, May 7th, right here at Hialeah Park. Undefeated heavyweight Lanier Pero is in action for the NABO title, plus the pro debut of Victor Abreu. So tickets are on sale now for Una Gran Noche de Boxeo Cubano 2. 2 title fights, top second boxing card of 2022 here at Hialeah Park. So live boxing returns. Tickets for the fights will be on sale tomorrow, April 15th through May 7th. Hialeah Park website, hialeahpark.com. So if you want to come on out here, buy your tickets, get ready, join us out here May 7th. We will be giving away tickets here on the program. We'll tell you when to send in an email or what's it called? A DM post on Twitter. Not now. We'll tell you when. And the tickets will be with you for you at will call. Those of you that win, we'll pick the winners. We'll tell you won. We'll get your full name, your address, your phone number, your email, and boom, the tickets will be at the will call window. Okay? All right? So I'm just waiting for the heads up so I can start giving away the tickets. But we will give them away. We will have some pairs to give away. But if you want to go, get some tickets, get some good seats. You're going to enjoy it. It was a blast last time. Let's see. Mike No Go Zone says, "Good morning, Big O. With this being the Marlins home opener, should there be any hope?" God, no. It's just shit. It's. I would love. I would love to be hopeful, bro. But look around baseball. Look at what everybody else is spending. And you know what? I'm hopeful that Jazz Chisholm has a good year. Sanchez has hit a couple. Let's see if he does something. I know that the pitching is going to be pretty damn good, but I can't. I'm not one of those guys that sits here and lies to myself or lies to you guys. And I don't do Homer radio just to do Homer radio. I can't do that. Now, I'll watch the Marlins. I'll root for the Marlins. I want to go to some of the games this year. Hopefully, we'll go down there and broadcast and, have some of the players on and things like that. But they've got to do more on the baseball side in order for us to have legitimate hope. Okay? Unless we see young guys that start having career years like they've never had before, that's the only way that they can surprise us and do something that I don't expect. But I think anybody out there that is expecting the Marlins to be a playoff contender, you're just lying to yourself. Marlins don't have the edge. You can get the edge by going to myedgedrink.com and using the code Big O for 10% off. You can do that. You can also order it at Liquor Split, by the way. You won't get the 10%, but you can order the My Edge or Edge energy drink. 78 calories only, man. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Maybe the Marlins, if they drink this, they'll get an edge. I don't know. I would love to tell you that I'm hope. The Panthers give me hope. The Heat give me hope. The Dolphins, they've won 9 and 10 games, and what they did on offense this year in free agency, Mike, that gives me hope. I don't have any hope for Inter Miami, and I don't have any hope for the Miami Marlins. The only thing, what I'm hopeful for the Miami Marlins is that you entertain me with the pitching, and that I'm hoping some of the bats develop. Okay? Maybe Soler has a terrific year. I don't know. It is 1-year deals, and they're opt-outs, so he could be motivated to have a monster year so he can go out and get a monster deal from somebody else. But that's the only thing I'm hopeful for. I can't sit here and BS you all and tell you, oh no, the Marlins have a legit shot at the division and the pennant and all. No, they don't. I can't. Just like Inter Miami. I love what I saw this Saturday against New England. It was nice to see, and that, in fact, that's what I've said the first couple of weeks, that it's really the only hope we have for Inter Miami is that some of these young guys that they found, that they actually develop and they turn into something. Outside of that, I'm not expecting Higuain or any of these guys to make a difference, and they haven't. It was Campana, last week, ringing the bell 3 times.
Yeah, I was going to say the biggest difference Higuain's made is when he stepped off the pitch.
Right, when his ass is on the bench. Yeah.
Not dressed.
Yeah, when he's not embarrassing himself on the pitch and everybody is taking the ball away from him like he's the kid that can't hang on to the candy and the big kid comes by and takes it from him. Everybody bullies Higuain in this league. So I can't have hope for the Miami Marlins and Inter Miami. I can only have hope that they occasionally entertain me. That's it. I'll be there. I love Inter Miami. I'll root for them. I'll watch them. I love Miami Marlins. I'll root for them. I'll watch them. But I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and tell you that they're actually going to be good. That's ridiculous. So can't do that. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, unfortunately, Mike. Let's see. Brett says, Big O, thoughts on Cam Jordan's comments on Tua versus Herbert. Loved his insight. What did he say? Don't know. Have no idea. So You're gonna have maybe listen to it, Sean, and tell me what the hell, because we'll get dinged anyways if we play it. I'm sure, because if it was Cam, he was probably on NFL Network saying it, and then so tell me whatever the hell he said, and we'll go with it. Let's see. Ticketmaster fees are ridiculous. Yes, they are. Have you ever seen Blue Oyster Cult live? You asked me that yesterday. I said yes. Miami Baseball Stadium. Drummer was in Godzilla's hand. Yes. Cheap Trick, Heart, Blue Oyster Cult. Cam Jordan on Tua. After playing Tua, it's Tua because he has more room to grow, Jordan said. He's poised. He doesn't get rattled. After playing Justin, you can hit him. You can hit Justin. He gets a little rattled after you start sticking him early. Tua stays calm. He has that demeanor about him. He's been hurt more, so he has much more room to grow. Oh, this is Cam Jordan.
Yeah, it was Cam
the
Jordan
Saints.
on
I read this.
It was which QB
this.
will take the biggest step in 2022.
I read this, bro. I read this. Yes. He kind of called Herbert soft. Like you can rattle Herbert and you can't rattle Tua, he says. Hey, listen, man. Anybody that's been on this show, you all know it. I stick up for the kid, and I am not on the Herbert, oh my God, he's arrived and he's elite. I've heard that line, and I laugh at that because, yeah, he's elite talent-wise, but he's not an elite player yet. He hasn't accomplished anything yet. He can't even get his team to the playoffs, and he had a chance to get his team to the playoffs, and he failed. And he has a better team than Tua, and he can't win more games than Tua. Oh, and by the way, he can't beat Tua. So, I'm not that guy. First, you have to show me, like Joe Burrow shows me. He showed me at LSU, and he showed me this year that he's the shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? Out of all these young guys, it's Joe Burrow. That's the man right now. But people that put Justin Herbert in that class, I'm sorry, I must have missed what he did at Oregon. What did he do at Oregon that was that impressive? And what's he done so far with the Chargers that's impressive? What, winning 9 games? So Tua does the same thing. So yeah, I'm not that guy. So I'd rather wait and see till they actually accomplish something. Like Joe Burrow. Then we'll see. It's not about stats. I know Herbert's the bigger player. I know Herbert has the bigger arm. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great quarterback. Herbert, by the way, is bigger, has a much better arm than Joe Montana. Bigger than Drew Brees, bigger arm than Drew Brees. Does that mean he's better? No. Because Jeff George was way more talented than Montana and Drew Brees. But he's a pea brain, and he couldn't get to where those guys get to. Because quarterbacking is not only about how you look or how far you can throw it or how athletic you are. It's about how you can actually, what kind of decisions you can make in a short amount of time in pressure situations, in big games, in big moments. Can you make the big plays? By the way, I watched I Am Athlete. Okay. I watched the whole thing. All right. And there were a couple of a couple of moments, not too many, for considering how long it was. Okay. And by the way, I mean, Chad he called Stephen Ross cheap. I almost turned it off right there. Seriously. Chad Johnson says some really stupid things on that show. That's probably why I can't keep watching it. If it's, I get it, he's there for entertainment purposes, but he says a lot of stupid stuff on that show. Oh my God. But anyway, so I did watch it, and there were a couple things. And one of the things that, it was what's it called? Waddle talking about how he laughs about how people talk about Tua and that they don't understand him and they don't get him and all that stuff, that he's the guy, and they don't understand that what you what it takes to walk into the middle of a national championship game and make the throws that he made and all that kind of stuff. So it was really cool of Waddle to open up and talk a little bit about that. And we already talked about the one question that I did see early on, which was the whole defending what's it called? Mac Jones when he was coming out, and he explained like Tua's already in the NFL. I don't need to help him. I got to help my other teammate, and that's what I said then when he was doing that, and that's exactly what he was doing. But it's just one of those things how we take it to another extreme. Heat Fins, thank you, Big O. Speak to these Tua hating bozos real quick. The problem is, I think that a lot of fans sometimes have selective memories and they don't remember that you don't have to have a gun. You have to be a smart player like Bob Greasy was, like Drew Brees was, like Chad Pennington was, like Bernie Kosar was, like Joe Montana was. Like there's so many quarterbacks I could name that didn't have great arms. They weren't, oh my God, 6'5" strappers that can run 4.4 and can throw it 90 yards and all that. That wasn't Bernie Kosar, dude. Bernie Kosar was an ugly, sidearm, super accurate, super smart player. That's why he was a hell of a quarterback. It's like Larry Bird. Watch Larry Bird shoot. One of the ugliest shots in the history of mankind. Now, go look at the net. It was string music every single time. So it didn't matter. Drew Brees doesn't look like Justin Herbert or Jeff George or Jamarcus Russell or any of these physical freaks that you've had over the years. Doesn't mean he's not a great quarterback, dude. Frank Tarkenton didn't have a gun. There's a lot of quarterbacks over the years that I can think of that they were awesome quarterbacks, but they were awesome quarterbacks because they knew how to manage a damn game. They knew how to lead players. They knew how to throw people open. They knew how to read defenses. They knew how to move safeties. They knew how to manipulate the defense. All of those things. They were great with their ball handling. Peyton Manning didn't have the biggest arm in the world, but he was super accurate, super smart, and he had great ball skills, dude. He knew exactly how to play with that ball and fake how handing it off and make those linebackers bite that they, oh God, and they knew, oh man, I bit and I'm done. By the time I react, Peyton's got me. Because the smart ones understand how to manipulate everything going on so they can do their job. But I think that there's a lack of understanding of the quarterback position. And there's too much Madden and fantasy going on. And you think that every quarterback was always a great athlete and that every quarterback throws for 100 yards and that every quarterback was 6'5" and they're, 247 and chiseled. And that's just not the case. Because Bernie Kosar didn't look anything like that. And he was a hell of a quarterback. And there's lots of them like him in this league, in the history of the league. But we have this thing that it has to be a superior athlete. It has to be a superior arm. And then we don't remember Jeff George, superior arm, failure. Vince Young, superior athlete, failure. Jamarcus Russell, superior arm, failure. Jared Goff, superior talent, failure. And there's examples like that all over the NFL, the history of the NFL. Guys that we were enamored and in loved. Jeff George had one of the 5 greatest arms I have ever seen in my life. You're old enough. Can you name 4 arms better than Jeff George? Hard, right? Hard. It's like really hard because Jeff George had a gift of an arm. I'm telling you, a gift. Very few guys can just, that flick of his. And that thing was sailing at a 50-yard bullet. But put him in a key moment, and he's done. And Drew Brees, who has half his talent, kicks his ass round side. And I think there's a problem in our society, in sports society, and there's too much Madden and too much fantasy football involved. And it's clouded your judgment on what a real quarterback is and what a real quarterback needs. Because that's the other thing. There's also this conception that the quarterback did it all by himself. That's not the case, but whatever. Over time, the kid will prove it and shut a hell of a lot of people up. That's all. Big O, most new football fans are not football fans. They are fantasy football fans, so they really don't understand the game. They only understand stats. No trying to talk to them. It's pointless. Don't care about Herbert's stats. Still 9-7 watching the playoffs with all that talent. T-Bone, agree, but all those QBs you mentioned were all over 6 feet. And so is Tua. He was actually pretty good with the Chiefs. He went to the AFC Championship game. Are you talking about Montana? Yes. Yeah, even with the back injury, Montana went pretty deep with the Chiefs. Was it 1 year or 2 years? Might have been 2. I want to say the second year wasn't as deep. My memory already failed me once today on that. But I want to say one was pretty deep, and then the other one wasn't as deep, and then he left. I think that's how I remember it. The problem is you keep saying fans, but some of it is the worst comments about Tua. Most are coming from the media. Yeah. There's no doubt. Media, former players, things like that. Yeah. It's fans, media, former players. I've heard all these comments from all different kinds of people. Yes. You are correct. I should say fans, media, and former players. You're right. Herbert is not Tannehill. No, Herbert is not Tannehill. That's not fair. I've never said that. Okay? Herbert is a real quarterback. Tannehill is not. Tannehill is an athlete trying to play quarterback. Herbert's a real quarterback. Okay? It's a different ball game. I don't look at, the Tannehills and the Lamar Jacksons of the world and those. I look at those guys as athletes trying to play the quarterback position. That's the difference. Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson are quarterbacks who have athleticism. They're real quarterbacks. They're real passers. It's a difference. Tannehill's not a passer. He's a thrower, is what he is. Everything has to be designed, has to run on cue. Once it goes off cue, Tannehill's done. He's gone. Scatterbrain. It's over. He's not going to be ad-libbing and none of that. That's not what he is. It's not who he is, never been. That's a real quarterback. A real quarterback you see under chaos. And that's the part that I think kind of gets lost with Tua, with some of you out there. Is that Tua has been in a chaotic situation for 2 years. Go ahead, go look at the stats last year. He's one of the least sacked quarterbacks behind the worst line in the NFL. How in the F does that happen? You tell me how that equation works out. How are you one of the least sacked quarterbacks behind the worst offensive line in the NFL? Ryan Tannehill has one of the best lines in the NFL with one of the best running games because he had 2 running backs this year, and he's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. One's a real quarterback, one's an athlete trying to play quarterback. Because Tua has the natural instincts to feel the pressure, to move from it, and he did it on every play. Tua is the only quarterback in the NFL last year that was being pressured while handing off. And that's the problem that I see with a lot of people, that they don't understand the quarterback position. And in that one trait that I just tell you about Tannehill, and you look at Tua, that's all you need to know. Tannehill doesn't have a running game. He doesn't have Derrick Henry or Foreman. He doesn't have his offensive line. He's constantly running. Tua. And Tua's constantly running for his life. Yet, he has less than or half the sacks of Ryan Tannehill. Yet Ryan Tannehill has the running game, the line, the receivers, everything. And yet he can't manage the game the way he's supposed to. That's why this year, when you see a running game and an offensive line, and you already know he has the instincts, you're going to see how much better this quarterback is going to be, because he's a real quarterback and not an athlete trying to figure out the damn game like Ryan Tannehill, like Lamar Jackson. That's the difference. People don't understand. They don't see the difference between Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson. They think it's the same guy. And it's not even freaking close. Kyler Murray's the same way. Kyler Murray's a real passer that is athletic. Lamar and Tannehill are athletes trying to play the quarterback position. Whole different ball game. All right, let's go. Alan Poupart, Sports Illustrated, joins us next.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th, and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupart.
All right, welcome back. Big O with you. We take you till about 1:30 here. We're going to talk a little Miami Dolphins football with Alan Poupart, as we always do, and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling good. Got my cup of coffee next to me. The Expos hat's on. Ready to rock and roll.
I like it. I like it. By the way, Isais, thank you for the love on the Super Chat. And Heat Fins also, thank you for the love also on the Super Chat here. And appreciate all of you out there. Please smash the like button on YouTube, or if you're listening to the podcast later on, we always appreciate that. All right, so yesterday, what'd you come away with on the Austin Jackson press conference? He talked a little bit about how much comfortable he is at tackle compared to guard. He also, said that, he's comfortable at guard. He'll do whatever it takes. But it looked like a young man that was, really looking forward to this challenge. Let's put it that way.
Well, he's looking forward to trying to see if he can hang on to a starting job. I think a lot of people kind of assumed last year when they're going to remake the entire offensive line, one of the guys who's not going to stay in the starting lineup is Austin Jackson. And Austin Jackson was one that wants to say, like, whoa, simmer down. Couple of points I want to make about Austin Jackson, because if we're going to go ahead and say everybody deserves like a little bit of time to develop, well, Austin Jackson fits that mold. You remember the time of the draft, all of the draft analysts were saying high upside, but he's going to take some time.
Yeah.
Not only, okay, so that's
remember, he's a young player. Remember that. This was a really young guy coming out of the NFL. He had just given bone marrow a year before to his sister, didn't have an off season, and then he comes in on a pandemic year. So, and he doesn't have great offensive line coaches. So there's been a lot against Austin Jackson. I agree. He deserves a fresh start. And the good thing is, look, man, in the end, what the front office has done, Alan, is they've erased the doubt now. Now you have the proper teachers in place for everybody, for Tua, for the offensive linemen, for everyone involved. So supposedly you got the coaches that you needed in order to fix the players. Now it's up to the players to perform, like Austin Jackson and everyone else on this damn offense.
No, and that's fair. And again, also, he's had 2 O-line coaches in 2 years in his first 2 seasons. Here's the thing, because I wrote yesterday like that. Don't like count him out to become the starting right tackle. And of course, some people are quick to attack it and say no, he sucks. He needs to be traded away. I'm not saying you're penciling him in for the job. I am just saying he's going to be in the mix. Again, like what we know so far for this Dolphin offensive line is Terran Armstead is going to be the left tackle. 95% Connor Williams is going to be the left guard.
Yes.
And Robert Hunt's going to start. That's what we know.
Yeah.
Right. And everything else, the Dolphins would be nuts if they eliminated any possibility right now in April. So yes, they're going to give Austin Jackson the long look. It's probably likely at right tackle. And if they decide very early on that, then maybe they give him a look at right guard with the possibility again of maybe Robert Hunt moves to right tackle. They're going to give Michael Dieter a long look at center, maybe to see if he's the guy. They'd be crazy not to. So this notion that the Dolphins absolutely have to go out and pick up somebody else, well, I think they want to see what they have in some of those guys. They address like the big need in getting that one anchor guy. That was the number one need on the offensive line. Get the anchor. And they did that with a guy who's not only a really good player, but he's also a veteran who's also going to help just by his presence and his tutoring everybody else on that line. The thing about Austin Jackson that was interesting, though, and I went to look and I couldn't find it. I could have sworn he said last year after the move to guard after several weeks that he felt comfortable at guard and he was a guard. And I'm thinking, how are you changing? That's interesting. Of course, he says what he needs to say at the right time. But if you look at his body type and what he does seem better fitted for tackle.
Yeah. And look, the problem is, everybody's made not everybody, but a lot of people have made a final determination on the guy. So in their minds, they have a hard time comprehending that he could actually end up starting. Are you kidding me? Austin Jackson start? No, there's no way you could do that. And it's not the first time where guys were out of position or didn't have great coaching or the situation was terrible and they weren't able to perform, and then all of a sudden they got the right scheme, the right coach, and they took off and became excellent players. So Austin wouldn't be the first person to do that. And I think that's one of the things that, by the way, this is going on with Lempierre also. This is a guy that failed as an offensive line coach, but he failed because he wasn't ready to be the head guy on an offensive line as the number one coach. And so now he gets to learn a whole new system, a whole new blocking scheme, and he gets to be an assistant coach and maybe climb the ladder properly instead of being thrusted into a position that he doesn't belong in. And maybe that's what happened to Austin Jackson. Maybe he was in a terrible position that he wasn't ready to succeed. We'll see now. He's matured a little bit more. He's had experience. He's gone through hell. Maybe this prepares him to have success. Nobody knows. But the bottom line is we should give them all a clean slate at this time because the offense was a mess, dude. It's hard to measure anybody on that offense.
And all I'm saying is you give the guy a shot. If you see in training camp, if you see in training camp he can't cut it, then you're not married to him. I mean, obviously it would suck because you spent the first round pick on him, but give him a shot. There's no reason not to. There's really no reason not to.
And plus, if he fails with these guys, they're not going to have any patience for him.
Correct.
And the front office is going to say, well, we tried. He failed with the other ones, and now we got the right coaching staff. And that's why I'm saying that there are no excuses for anybody now. Now you've got the people that properly are supposed to coach the offensive side of the ball. So whether it's the run game, the pass blocking, the quarterback, whatever it is, everybody's got to go out there and get it done now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except when you say we got the right coaching staff. I mean, I don't want to like poo-poo on anybody, but they still have to show it. I mean,
of course.
The new offensive line coach, no offense to him, is not coming here with a ton of offensive line coaching experience.
No.
But it does help that there are other people on the staff. For example, the OC Frank Smith, who does have an offensive line background to help him out.
Right, and Applebaum is also has experience on the line. So you have enough people that know and have succeeded on their own levels on the offensive line, something that you didn't have in the last year. So, all right. So now
No,
let's
it was a bad setup last year.
Yeah. Huh?
It was a bad setup last year.
It was a bad setup last year.
Yeah.
All right, Gesicki, very entertaining as always, incredibly likable.
He's gotten so good with the media. I mean, because when he first started, he was kind of
timid.
He seemed a little bit defensive, like a little bit like maybe not like as sure of himself, and maybe a little bit defensive. And he's just gotten better and better and better. And now he's great with the media.
Well, once you kick ass on the field and you know who you are, you know what I mean? It's
correct.
It's you can go out there and you can have a little swag. You can be yourself, which I think that's what he's doing now. Now he's allowed to be himself, and he's so likable, dude. How'd you think he handled the tight end receiver question thing?
As well as he can handle it. I mean, the whole thing, yeah. This notion. I don't know if the question was phrased like, "Are you happy to get the franchise tag?" NFL players don't like getting the franchise tag. They want the long-term contract extension.
Of course.
And he's going to say it as politely as he can.
And he did.
And same thing with the wide receiver tight end thing. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to create a controversy. My agent might, but I'm not going to." Yeah. Let's go like this. It's my agent takes care of everything. No, he said all the right things. And that's an interesting one because by usage, he was more wide receiver than he was tight end.
Yeah. The thing is, it really all depends on what happens this year. The rest is bullshit because they're going to figure him out and they're going to say, well, yeah, he works with us or he doesn't work out. So you're either going to be interested in re-signing him or you're going to let him go and move on. That's what's going to happen by the end of the year. That's really what's going to determine how he's going to get paid. What he's done the first couple of years is kind of a table setter, but in the end, the entree is this year because this is his coaching staff now. So they've got to figure out if they can use him or not, if he belongs or not, before they even decide to pay him. So, and all year, if they use him as a tight end, then it's a moot point by the end of the year what we're talking about.
No, but I thought you were talking about in terms of the franchise tag number because his salary. I mean, the difference is $11 million or 18.4.
Of course.
He gets designated as a wide receiver. So.
But that's if you do it now and you try to negotiate something. But since he's on the tag already, he's playing on it. He's locked in at that price already this year.
They can still appeal it. I don't know the procedure exactly, but they can still appeal it.
Doesn't sound like they're appealing. All right, I mean. They would have appealed it already.
If they're doing it, they may be doing it behind the scenes. That I don't know, and it's certainly not going to come from Gesicki.
Some tells me that somebody would have broken that if they're challenging the league in that sense. I'm just saying because that always comes out with everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing: it may be part of the negotiations with the Dolphins for a long-term contract, as in, this is what we might do, and we might very well win it, but if you take care of us with a long-term extension, obviously we're going to drop it. So that's why I don't think it would necessarily happen right away because I think his preference, as he said, is a long-term deal. It's not the franchise tag, whatever position he winds up. And as far as
you don't believe by any stretch that there's any talk of long-term deals right now, right?
No, I don't. Okay. I can't say
it would be incredibly irresponsible for the Dolphins to be talking long-term deal with him now that you changed offenses But you cannot do anything with Mike Gesicki anymore until the end of the season when you finally get a feel for what he is. If he's fitting and playing well, then you start negotiating midway through the year and try to have a deal by the end of the year for him in place. If he's not, there's no need to negotiate. You need to move on, unfortunately. As much as we like him, if he doesn't fit the scheme, he doesn't fit the scheme. So
but here's the thing, and I've been thinking about this, is this idea of like fitting the scheme. Mike Gesicki, no matter what scheme, is always going to be a 6'6" guy who's going to be a matchup problems for defense because of that. So you can always make use of a Mike Gesicki with his skills.
Oh, whoa! Not when you have this kind of dedication to the run. You're going to have to block.
They're not going to run 100%. I don't agree with you there.
On the second level, you're going to have to. He's going to have to pick up linebackers and safeties. I don't think they're going to put him on the line, but I think he's going to have to be successful at the second level, my man.
I don't see that.
By
the way,
if he's hurting him there, I think that will hurt his long-term viability with him.
But it would have to be really bad. The thing is, what's going to come down to me more, it's going to be more of a question of how much resources you're willing to devote into him. And one other point I want to make, and actually, I had thought about this when I saw him yesterday, and then one of my followers mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, big time. I was like, whoa.
So did I.
Whoa.
He got arms. He got arms. I saw his arms. I was like, they told his ass, dude, you're going to block some. So you need to beef up those arms. And I saw those arms and I go, I was going to ask you that question. I was going to go, did you notice his arms? Because somebody told him he was going to block. And when he's talking about Kittle and watching Kittle and all that, then somebody told him, well, if you want to help us out like Kittle, well, you're going to need a block. Those arms aren't going to help us. You see Kittle's arms? Look at your arms. And that dude went and hit the bench, bro.
Either that or somebody got him some arms as a wedding gift.
Oh, come on. Now you're going the A-Rod style on him? God.
That was a joke.
God, you got him juicing?
No, that wasn't the joke.
Ah, man.
No, yeah.
What was the joke then?
That as a wedding gift, they got him arms, not artificially done.
You mean like they bought like a pair of arms at Zayre's?
Exactly. Jesus, man.
I had to go back. I had to blast from past.
Whoa,
Zayre sells arms. You didn't know that?
Is this on?
That's Zayre's. Yeah, bro.
Big O, is this thing on?
Of course this thing is on. Yes, it's on. Yes. We hear you. Yes, we hear you.
No, I'm wondering why I didn't get the joke in the first place. Okay.
Oh.
Maybe it wasn't that great a joke. It's funny in my head when I thought about it. So.
All right, so you were thinking the same thing, huh? They told us, you're gonna have to block some with those arms.
Either that or he took it upon himself. I mean, but what's clear is, that's the first thing that jumped out at me. It was like, whoa, damn, dude, beefed up.
All right. By the way, any we talked about it earlier in the week. Any follow-ups on the Tua Luau stuff? Did you pick up on anything else?
You had one in Alabama yesterday. Is that a follow-up? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's not. I mean, it's a nice charity event, and
sure, definitely
nice for them to show support to their quarterback. So nothing more should be taken from that.
Should they invite you next year
for a Mai Tai and luau's? Absolutely.
Of course, right? I mean,
should invite all the writers actually.
Yeah, and the podcast too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We should be doing the show from the luau.
There you go.
Know what I mean? Tua sits down with us. I'm actually a better left tackle than Austin Jackson for him.
Damn, harsh.
But accurate, right? Right? I mean,
I don't know. I've never seen you play
left tackle. My two-and-on left tackle for him is pretty strong. So I'm just saying. I've shown good technique all yes. Yeah. Saban was at the event with the mom and everything.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's supporting him.
Yeah, it was the second time you've done it at Alabama, from what I was told.
Yeah.
And it's going to become an annual thing here.
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm saying we need to be at that event next year. I mean, we got to talk to Tua here, bro. I mean, that's just wrong on every level that we weren't there at the luau, man. Damn, dude. All right, what are you working on Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out?
Draft related stuff, free agency stuff. Trying to figure out pick 102. It's normally at this time of year I'd be having like draft prospect profiles up the wazoo and then mock draft roundups every week, but picking 102 is like, by the way, do you know that the Dolphins do not have the latest pick in the draft? They pick 102. The Rams pick 104. That's their first pick.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, well, okay, but that's understandable with him.
Yeah, they won a Super Bowl with that move, so.
Yeah, that paid off for them.
Yep.
I'm hoping it pays off for the Dolphins the same way that you're in Arizona covering the Super Bowl. That would be kind of fun, bro. All right, follow him on Twitter at Poopart NFL and catch him twice a week here doing his thing, the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report. Alan, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Have a good weekend, my man.
Got it. There you go. Alan Poupart, as always, getting it done. Appreciate it. There it is, your Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
Sports Grill action. We love it. By the way, they are hiring Miami Lakes, Bird Road, and Doral now. Hostess, cooks, waiters, you name it, all kinds of positions. Almost every position there, management, you name it. So if you are looking for work, Sports Grill, Miami Lakes, Bird Road, and Doral locations are hiring. So go check them out. m.cruz@sportsgrill.com is the email. m.cruz@sportsgrill.com if you want to send your resume and you're interested in work. All right. m.cruz, CRUZ @sportsgrill.com. All right. And good luck to you. Get a good job at a good place, at a great place, and great atmosphere, man. I love Sports Grill. Great place, man. I can see Liam Eichenberg developing with these coaches into a solid right tackle next to right guard Robert Hunt. Well, I need somebody to develop, and hopefully it's Eichenberg or somebody, but get it. Big O has a 6-inch vertical or a 5-inch vertical. I think I've got a higher vertical than 5, even at this weight. You know that? Even at this weight, I can do more than 5. I'm telling you. You're underestimating the O. I'm just saying. You're underestimating me. Hopefully soon, we will have a workout routine very soon. Very soon. I'm hoping for it. About 5-6 weeks. We'll hopefully have something new that we'll be able to use. Dwayne says, I bet on Big O. You better. Thank you. Appreciate you. But we get over 5 for sure. Easy over 5. Even at 55, I can go over 5. Okay? Even at 55. Let's see. Being left-handed, Tua can roll out to his left, the strength of his O-line, and away from the pressure that most times will come from the right. Very good. Jonathan Jensen says, Big O Radio Show, have you seen the new Miami Crypto Bull? Yeah, that was unveiled during the Bitcoin convention. Yes, sir. I saw it. And right now, by the way, Bitcoin, let me give you the latest here, is still over 40,000. It has dipped, right? It was over 41, but now it's just over 40. So there's a small little dip again here in the market. There you go. All right. And what else do we have here? Okay. Got folks reaching out. Big O, I think Austin Jackson can be a guy at right tackle with his physical attributes, but his confidence needs to show. If it does, he can become our starter. What happens with Liam? You know, why don't we all do this? Instead of playing the hypothetical game, which is a complete total mental masturbation, because we don't know if Austin Jackson's good enough to play at right tackle or Liam Eichenberg. So what are we going to do? Talk about the scenario. If Liam's right tackle, what do you do with Austin? And if Austin, what do you do with Liam? I don't know. What happens if somebody else gets injured and then you need to move them over there? I have no idea. Why don't we wait till training camp rolls around and training camp starts, and then we'll see what happens, and then the preseason, and we'll watch how it develops, and then we can talk about the actual situation developing. To talk about it now, it's all hypotheticals. What's the name of the other kid that we don't talk about that they really liked a lot that was under the radar? Brown or Jones or something like that. The guard, Robert Jones, I want to say. What if Robert Jones becomes the right tackle? What if all of a sudden in this scheme, we don't know because we barely saw Robert Jones play. And they like him, right? And so all of a sudden in this scheme, Robert Jones becomes a star. Comes out of nowhere. And then we don't know what to do with Eichenberg and Jackson. And then one of them has to be a guard. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. We've got Connor and Hunt already a guard. Oh, God, what do we do? So let's just wait. Because Robert Jones might be the better lineman out of all of them. How about Solomon Kinley? What if Solomon Kinley's weight loss and having more movement, all of that, and he outplays Hunt and moves Hunt to right tackle, who then outplays Eichenberg and Jackson? I don't know. What if Solomon Kinley's your right guard, Hunt's your right tackle, and Jackson and Eichenberg aren't any of your tackles? Let's wait till it actually develops, and then we can actually talk about it. Because there's so much unknown that I don't know, you don't know, the coaches don't know. We've got to wait, man. It just gets to these. It is Robert Jones, right? Yeah, I was right. Yeah. And they love that kid. So you never know. What's that?
When I looked up Robert Jones on
the linebacker.
as the linebacker, so I went to look at the roster just to make sure.
Yep. Robert Jones. I remember Robert Jones, a linebacker with us here, former Ram. I'm just thinking of something that I can't talk about now. Happened a long time ago. Can't talk about it. It's funny because I can't talk about it, but I've talked about it in years past, but without mentioning names. But now that I've mentioned Robert Jones, I can now talk about it because he's involved in it. So I can't talk about it. But yeah. Anyway. And a funny one, too. Disturbing, funny, twisted. I don't know. You can make a TV show or a movie about it. Anyway. Big O, Waddle or Hill, who is receiver one? I don't give a shit. I don't, Richard. Who cares, bro? Tyreek is going to be the number one because he's the established guy. He's going to get all the double teams initially. So Waddle's going to get the single coverage. That automatically, defenses are going to consider Tyreek Hill the number one until proven otherwise, if you are going to prove it. But when you have Tyreek, and then you also have Waddle, and then you have Cedric, and you have Gesicki, and you have Mostert coming out of the backfield with Chase Edmonds coming out of the backfield. There are so many options, my brother. that it doesn't really matter. What Tua needs to do is hit the open man in the open field and get Chase Edmonds the ball in space and get Waddle the ball in space and get Tyreek the ball in space and get Gesicki the ball in the air. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's all about. It's not a matter of having the whatever, oh my God, I'm the number one guy. I'm the man. Being the man is not important. Winning is what's important. And if in a game Gesicki is the guy and Waddle and Hill are more decoys and complimentary, great. And if in another game Tyreek's the guy and Waddle and Gesicki are complimentary, great. And in another game, if Waddle's catching the ball 12 times and Tyreek only twice and Gesicki 3 or 4 times and they just complimented, fantastic. Because that's when your offense is going to be at its best. Not when you're constantly targeting just one guy. So if your idea is, well, who's the number one guy, and let's throw him the ball 170 times so he can catch the ball 120, that's not productive. Okay? It's going to be productive on a singular nature, but if you want to have success overall, you want to spread that ball around, and you want to make everybody a threat. So who the number one is doesn't really matter. What matters more is keeping them guessing on who's getting the ball next. That's what's going to make this offense special, not determining who's number one. That silly stuff is just for fodder for fans and media to bounce around and talk about. By the way, as we see Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises right here, and they are a wide green contractor, so just in case. But anybody that wants to get their roof done, home or business, and you call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, great man, great family man, AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, been doing this in South Florida for over 25 years. We will do a show at your home or your business if you fix your roof. Don't wait till June, like a lot of people that they wait till the rainy season and, oh, my God, we got a leak and all that. Well, you knew the roof was kind of shady. Don't wait till then to fix it, because then that's when everybody else is waiting, and then you're going to be waiting even longer. So do it now. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com and tell them that Big O sent you. All right, 954-735-9826. That's 954-735-9826. And tell Tommy that we sent you. So the next listener here in the South Florida area that gets their roof redone, or they want to go green and they want to put the panels and everything else, they're a wide green contractor, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com and tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. 90 Miles from Cuba says, I don't know, Big O. In the great words of Rock Flair, to be the man, you have to beat the man. Woo! Sean knows. Ric Flair, baby. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Waddle is going to be lethal this season with the attention to Tyreek draws. Yes. Yes. And Mostert's going to be a pain in the ass coming out of the backfield. And Cedric is going to be terrific in the slot because you got to worry about Tyreek and you got to worry about Waddle and that speed. Oh, my Lord. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch what's going on. I love how they've designed this. And that great vision on designing this offense and wanting to attack people in all levels of the game. Speed out of the backfield, freakishness at tight end, speed at wide receiver, size when you move Cedric into the slot. You got a 6'2" slot guy. That's a hell of an advantage. I don't think people think about that because you think, okay, automatically they're going to play them outside. And I think they're going to be moving those guys around, and you're going to see Cedric a lot in the slot. And usually slot guys are 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". Here's a 6'2" slot. Bigger body in the middle of the field for Tua. Smart. Kid's got good speed, moves terrific in both directions. That's what you need. You got to draw that, or you got to make that slot corner crazy, not knowing where the hell you're going. I love the way they've designed this offense, man. All right, let's take a break. Let's get ready for hour number 3 on the program. Marcel Louis-Jacques from ESPN will join us at 12:30 with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. David Dwork at 1 o'clock. We'll talk a little Panthers with him. Panthers insider for WPLG. Locked and loaded. Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, driving the program. We're coming to you live from Hialeah Park. And don't forget, May 7th, another great boxing card is coming to Hialeah Park. Tomorrow you can start to buy tickets. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to start giving away tickets probably next week. We'll start giving away tickets, so we will see you here May 7th, man, for all the action. All right, let's take a break. Hour number 3 is next.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. Viewpoint statements opinions or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Sports Grill. Good food, good drinks, good friends. Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealership in the Southeast United States. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department. The FLPD is hiring. Go to FLPDjobs.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. OK Coin is one of the largest fiat to crypto trading platforms in the world. Founded in 2013, OK Coin offers advanced features for crypto beginners and high-volume traders alike, enabling users in 184 countries worldwide. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Rock and roll from Hialeah Park. Yeah. Appreciate all of you out there. Don't forget to smash the like button while you're listening to the podcast at any time, day or night. Or if you're watching it right here on the YouTube channel, please smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe, all right? Help us grow every single day. Baker Mayfield. You know, at times in sports, we have the guys that talk the talk and they walk the walk, right? Deion Sanders, nobody talked like Deion Sanders. But Deion Sanders walked it, right? And I've watched all kinds of guys that can talk the talk and walk the walk. Now, you've got to be careful when you talk the talk and you can't walk the talk. And then when you can't walk the talk, you become Johnny Manziel. When you can't walk the talk, you become Baker Mayfield. And on that podcast where he says, I would love to show up to somebody's cubicle and just boo the shit out of them and watch them crumble. That was Baker Mayfield. See, the problem is, Baker, people picked to be in an office job because that's what they do. Nobody goes to watch anybody or pays to see somebody do work in an office. But they are paying to see you play football. And if you want to be liked, well, maybe you should carry yourself a little bit more like a professional. Maybe you shouldn't be busted drunk and arrested by a cop in Oklahoma. Maybe you shouldn't be grabbing your crotch in the middle of the field. Maybe you shouldn't be planting the flag on somebody else's logo. Maybe you shouldn't be getting into Duke Johnson's contract demands and, you know, acting like you're either on my team or you're not when it's not really your team. It's the Cleveland Browns. By the way, Baker, they traded Joe Montana. They traded Wayne Gretzky. And for those of you out there, because we live in a town, this is a great example, and I thought about this yesterday, Sean. Here's Tua Tagovailoa, who is one of the most decent human beings on Mother Earth. And half of you, all you do is shit on the kid. He carries himself with professionalism. He carries himself and he cares for human beings. He wants to win. He works his ass off. He doesn't show up his teammates like Baker Mayfield. He doesn't show up the opponents. He comes to work. He doesn't whine and cry about trade rumors. He doesn't point fingers when the media is constantly asking about trade rumors. And look at Baker Mayfield, how he's absolutely lost it. So we can watch how some carry themselves in the wake of adversity, like Baker Mayfield. And then we could admire the hell out of men like Tua Tagovailoa, who carries himself like everyone should carry themselves in their toughest moments. That's what I thought of when I saw Baker Mayfield, because you would never think Tua Tagovailoa, right? But I do, because I look at the way the horse's ass is carrying himself. And let me tell you something. I root for Baker Mayfield because I love his commercials. So I want him to have success so he can keep the damn commercials. Now the commercials are gone. All right. You know, they're not going to keep those commercials running. It can't be Cleveland Stadium pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? But to me, that's what I came away with. I'm watching Baker go through all this shit. And then I watched Tua go through all this stuff and put up with a bunch of crap from you guys that he doesn't deserve, by the way. And yet the kid is stoic as hell, professional as hell, mentally tough. All this has done the last 2 years, watching Cam Newton act like a horse's ass, watching Baker Mayfield act like a horse's ass, watching Johnny Manziel act like a horse's ass. All this does is galvanize my rooting, I guess, or my stance. It galvanizes my stance on Tua and how much I want that man to succeed, because I want that guy representing our team. So, maybe it's boring for people like Channing Crowder to have people like Russell Wilson or Tua to represent your team, but not for me. I want that dude representing our team, because the team is going to go through some adversity. Now I know how he's going to handle it. He's going to be stoic. He's going to be tough-willed through it all. He's going to be team-oriented through it all. Some of these other guys, they panic and start pointing fingers and start crying and whining and all this stuff. And Tua gets crapped on by so many of you in the media, fans, and that dude is a horse, bro. A horse. And that quote from Cam kind of reminds me of that. So, knock yourselves out, Baker Mayfield. You go ahead, my man. You chose this profession. People in cubicles didn't choose to be in the public eye. I chose to be in this profession. I'm in the public eye. So I've got people on the chat board that are going to disagree with me, call me all kinds of names. Goes with the territory. People are going to agree with me or disagree with me. Goes with the territory. Joe Shad, yesterday. We're all talking about you in the goes with the territory. That's just the way it is. You want to do this? Well, you're going to be a lightning rod. Right? I had Mike Lowell one day call me out in the Miami Herald. 3-inch headlines. Part of the business. You want to be in the heat, right? You want to be in the kitchen? Well, you got to be able to take the heat. Baker Mayfield can't handle the heat. He talks a lot like he can handle the heat, but he can't. Meanwhile, Tua Tagovailoa doesn't talk about handling the heat, dishing out the heat or anything, but he can take it. He can take all the crap that's been delivered. That's my kind of quarterback. That's my kind of guy. That's the guy I want when the chips are down and it's the fourth quarter and there's a minute left on the clock and we're at the 30-yard line and you've got to get a score. That's the guy I want. I want him. I want Tua. I want him to succeed. I see plenty of examples of people I don't want representing the Miami Dolphins. Tua gives me every reason why I want him representing the Miami Dolphins and being the Dolphins quarterback. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. The Welton Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the program, don't forget, folks, if you're looking to improve your home, and I'm talking about custom home construction, EJD Construction is there for you. All right? 305-433-4843. Call Eric now. You want to, build up that backyard. You want to put out a full kitchen and tiki hut and all that kind of stuff and a bar and all that. You call EJD Construction. You want to redo that man cave and put up a wall of TVs and, a stadium seating and all that. You call EJD Construction. I'm telling you, whatever you want to build an entire extension for your home, 1, 2, or 3 rooms, whatever it is, recreational room, you call EJD Construction. All right? Major home. I'm not talking about fixing your door handle or, oh my God, the hinge fell off the fence. I'm not talking about a handyman. I'm talking about custom home construction. Maybe you want to redo that home. That's what EJD Construction does. You got a 2-bedroom home. You want to convert it to a 4-bedroom home. You call EJD Construction. That's what they're there for you, okay? You need to redo the front yard, a brand new concrete fence and a beautiful water fountain and all kinds of, that's when you call EJD Construction. Custom home construction. And by the way, AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and one badass sponsor of our program. All right, 305-433-4843. Big hometown fan and a crypto guy too, by the way. He loves his crypto. EJD Construction. Call Eric, 305-433-4843. All right. What else do we have here? Tua not posting them. Why? Somebody's saying that he's posting. People, he doesn't post any of those videos. That's his trainer posting videos of Tua and other players, by the way. He posts Nick, it's perform on Twitter and a 4 on the F when you spell perform. He puts out posts of Tua and other players. And of course, that's how he promotes that he's a trainer. So other players will see it because they follow all these other players that are on there. And then they'll see who these players are training with. And then they'll call Nick and say, hey. So again, misinformation, Facebook information. If you're blaming Tua for those videos, he never posted any of those videos. Go to his Twitter feed and you won't see the videos. They're performs videos. Okay? I've seen a trainer post to advertise his gym with the QBs and running backs he works with, but haven't seen any of these hype videos Tua posts. Tua doesn't post any type hype videos at all. Okay? So, Big O, did you see the $400 bet I easily won? I tagged you on Twitter. Yeah, I saw something like that you tagged. Let me see what it was here. Let me make sure here. Here we go. Easiest money I'm going to make. A Raiders fan bet me $400, shook hands and has witnesses that Tua will not, and I repeat, not start the first game of the season. He thinks Teddy wins the job. Well, I mean, there are suckers born every minute, and that's one of those suckers right there. That's one of those dudes. Write that down there. Okay. Ronald Hubbard on Twitter says, help me out, Big O. It's not championships the gold standard on how coaches and players are measured, especially in the NBA. I mean, Riley won 3 championships with the Lakers and 1 with the Heat as a coach. Then he built a team that won 2 championships as a GM. Right. And I don't know what's I think you're not understanding, but I do measure coaches by the successes that they've had also with different teams. So with Pops, I can only measure him with Tim Duncan. It's the only time he won titles with Tim Duncan. So that's my point. I can measure Riley winning titles with Magic and the Lakers and then winning it with Wade and Shaq and Zoe and all those other guys that they had, Gary Payton, all that. And then building all the other teams, by the way. Hell, he's built even the Zoe and Timmy teams. He's had more success with secondary teams than Popovich has had. So I do measure him that way. In fact, you're a great coach, right? But I'm going to call Riley the better coach and the better constructor of teams because Popovich fell into luck with Robinson and Duncan. Ginobili and Parker, that's skill right there. You picked them. But Duncan and Robinson, you lucked into the number one pick twice. And you ended up with an incredible player both times. So, you know what I mean? It's a different ball game. When you don't have the number one pick all the time and then you got to rebuild a team. So we can measure it. I guess it's a subjective thing. You know what I mean? I'm going to look at you a little better if you've done it in other ways. That's all. And I'm consistent about that, just like with Joe Gibbs. I look at Joe Gibbs differently than I look at Belichick. I don't care how many championships Belichick has. I'm more impressed with Joe Gibbs than I am with Belichick because Joe Gibbs won 3 titles with 3 different quarterbacks. And none of them better than – oh, I'm sorry. Let me add one more thing. Not only did he win with 3 different quarterbacks, none of them are Hall of Famers. Theismann, Schobert, whatever was his name, the other guy, he was kind of an erratic guy that won it. Doug Williams, Schrader, right? Yeah, right. But I mean, Theismann and Williams were better than Schrader, but still, it's no wait, it wasn't Schrader, it was Rippon. It was Rippon, the third one. Rippon was hot. He was hot. He wasn't a great quarterback, but he had like 2 hot years, and then he went to the Colts. Yeah, he won Theismann, Doug Williams, and Rippon. That's the 3, not Schrader. He did go deep with Schrader, by the way. He did do well with Schrader, which is crazy, because Schrader was kind of erratic and threw interceptions. But Rippon was on a roll for 2 years. He had the fun bunch, right? That was the fun bunch. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just more impressed with somebody that's done it with different sets of teams. That shows me that you're a pretty special coach, man. That you can figure it out different ways. That's what Shula, if he would have won it with Woodstock or with Marino, that would have been really cool, man. But he got to the Super Bowl with 3 different types of teams, which is super impressive by Shula. And it's kind of what I'm talking about. Tua can remain status quo and the offense will be better because optimistically it'll be more balanced. I hope so. Mark Rippon was not that good, but he had a good couple. He was hot. Eric, he had 2 years where he was pretty good. Again, not an All-Pro, not a Hall of Famer, nothing like that. But he got on Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs made you better than what you were. That's what it was. Joe Gibbs gave you a running game every time, and you were able to pass, and you always had a defense, and you always had a great offensive line because you had one of the best offensive line coaches in the business, and Bugle, all that kind of stuff. You had Richie Pettibone as your defensive coordinator. He had an incredible staff. Joe Gibbs made every quarterback's life easier. That's the idea. If you're a great coach, you got to learn. You can't put it all on your quarterback because the weight of the world can't be on one guy in a team sport like that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Like when the Ravens won with Dilfer, more respect for those accomplishments and the Hall of Fame QB. Well, it's not so much Dilfer, but I give the organization the credit for winning it without it. Now, remember, Harbaugh won one of them, Billick won the other. So that's the organization winning with different coaches and different players, per se. Okay, so it wasn't the same coach winning both titles. That's the difference there in Baltimore. But you got to give the Ravens credit because it wasn't really the same people winning those titles. Front office, coaching, actually, front office it was Newsom. It was Ozzie Newsom. So Newsom does get the credit for that because he built both of the champions. You got some news?
Not news, just something I found funny because I'm just quirky like that.
Do it.
Tom Brady,
Mhm.
he sent out, looks like a tweet. He says he has one request for Elon Musk. If you buy Twitter, can you delete the combine photo?
That's funny.
And then, of course, he's got the picture of it right there.
That's funny. That's funny. That's good. That's a good one by Tom Brady, bro. That's you know.
It's so funny how you see his personality now that he's not with New England, right? I mean, just
he's likable.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
likable. Super likable.
And I get he's got to do stuff because
you
of
always
TV12
respected
and things,
him because you got to respect the player and the results. But now you like him because he's likable. That's all. Even the video he put out the other day with Tyreek and Waddle, and he said, "Okay," and then you see him zoom by running after his kids. Likable. It's fun. Baseball needs a lot of that. Big O, can you teach accuracy? No, I don't think so. But man, Josh Allen has proven me a little wrong. He's not accurate, but he's gotten more accurate. Way better than what he was. I have never believed that you can teach accuracy. You either have it or you don't. Although, Josh still has his erratic moments. He had it last year. I watched it. But he did something I never thought anybody could do. I had never seen it in my life. I've never seen anybody as erratic as him straighten it out as much as he did. I've never seen that. Like, you watch Lamar, nothing's changed with Lamar Jackson. He's a mediocre passer, always will be. Ryan Tannehill doesn't change. Ball placement will never be there. Receivers will always have to turn around or stop or move or whatever. He's rarely going to hit you in stride or anything like that. Ball placement and accuracy are always going to be an issue for Ryan. It's either you have it or you don't. And I've always thought that until freaking Josh Allen. Josh Allen was the one guy that messed with my theory. He's the guy that effed it all up for me. I had it going on for years. I kept telling everybody, once they're inaccurate, they're always inaccurate. And somehow or another, Josh Allen fixed it a little bit there. Not perfect, but man, he improved a lot on a sick amount. Almost as sick as Vladimir Guerrero hitting 3 home runs yesterday for the Blue Jays against the Yankees. 6:40 tonight, baby. Lone Depot Park. Kyle Gibson taking on Sandy Alcantara at Lone Depot Park. So we'll see if the 1-4 Marlins can get on track there. Would be nice. You saw the controversy yesterday with Kershaw. I mean, I get it. I guess that there's a lot of people out there that don't follow baseball, and I think less people follow baseball nowadays than ever. I think more than ever you have less fans of baseball. So I think you have less educated fans of baseball. We're into the second week of baseball. The guy's pitching 80 times already. And you want to keep him in there? You want to go to 100? For a guy that has an injury history, for a guy that is the most important pitcher for them, and if they want to win the World Series, do you think it's really that important to win a game in April? They won it anyways. It wasn't like it was hurt. I just, when I see people complain about the Kershaw thing, I just think you don't know baseball and you don't understand what stretching out arms are. and his arm is not stretched out in April. And you've got to bring them along slowly. Oh, and by the way, spring training didn't even start on time either. It started late. So it was what's that called? A spring training, shortened spring training, which by it being condensed, didn't prepare your arm even more for the regular season. Anybody that's complaining about Kershaw being pulled after 80 pitches in the second week of the regular season does not know baseball. Okay? It's pretty simple. There's no gray area here. It's white or black. It's right or wrong. It's yes or no. No, you don't leave them in. Yes, you pull them out. It's wrong to keep them in. It's right to pull them out. You pay this guy like $30 million a year, and you pay him to close in October and November. You don't worry about a silly no-hitter in April, which, by the way, let's also not forget that the no-hitter or the complete game or the perfect game or whatever, whichever one you're pitching has been devalued completely nowadays. And also, here's the funny part. No-hitters, perfect games, all that stuff, they're no longer celebrated like they used to be. They go completely under the radar. So your complaints fall on deaf ears because you're a bunch of phonies. Nobody goes crazy. Do you know 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they used to cut in to no-hitters and perfect games. Listen to me. We used to cut in. We got a no-hitter in Chicago. Let's go to it. And everybody would tell everybody, hey, bro, go to ESPN. They got a no-hitter going on. It was a big thing. Last year, I'm watching baseball, and every time there's a no-hitter, it's in the 7th page of the sports section. What a bunch of phony asses that I heard about all this crap with Kershaw. Learn the damn game. Marcel Louis-Jacques, next.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
Yes, sir. Got something to say about Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah. What are you going to say?
That the Dodgers are frauds.
Don't tell me you're going to keep them in.
The Dodgers are frauds. It doesn't matter what they do or don't do.
I don't care about that, but pulling him at 80 pitches, but pulling him at 80 pitches is the right thing to do in the second week of the baseball season.
He's closer to washed than not right at this point. And it's funny what you say about you pay him to close games in October when traditionally he's been awful in October. I love that. I just wanted to say it out loud.
But again, that's not the point. It's not the point.
Right. I'm just a Giants fan. I'm a Giants fan.
I get that.
I just want to trash the Dodgers.
Forget the fan shit. Do you pull him at 80 pitches in the second week of the season or not?
Yeah, who cares about a no-hitter, dude?
That's the other thing that's developed in baseball. Yes, nobody cares about a perfect game no-hitter anymore.
Yeah, the league office is calling in probably frantic. Please leave him in. We just need a crumb of publicity. Please.
Yes. Yeah,
people are going to forget about us in 4 days.
But that was the other thing that I brought up. It's just all this disgust, and it's like people don't even care about no-hitters or perfect games anymore. What the hell are you talking about, dude? Nobody that goes under the radar, bro. I mean, nobody talks about it. It's like that's what I was saying. 20 years ago, we used to cut into them, bro. 25 years ago, ESPN would cut into a no-hitter perfect game wherever it's going on. And
baseball used to be a draw.
Right.
It used to be not even just the no-hitters. Like I can still remember, again, Giants fan, grew up in Northern California. I still remember getting up from my dinner table to go over to the television when Barry Bonds was up to bat as he's about to break the single season
we
record,
used
or
to
the
cut
Hank
in.
Aaron's record.
Right. We used to cut in for Barry's at bats.
Now, imagine.
Sosa's at bats and McGuire's at bats while they were chasing records. We used to cut into all of that. You'd be watching, basketball or another baseball game, and Barry's at the plate. Boom, we're going to San Francisco right now. See where Barry's chase for the home run record or whatever. It was a different time, man. But it's just funny to me how all of a sudden people are so disgusted about pulling Kershaw. And it's like, do you even know the game? Do you understand? You're going to ruin the guy right at the beginning of the year? Nobody would put their top pitchers or any pitcher, leave them in the second week of the. Oh, by the way, we had a shortened spring training too, which you think that helped out? Come on.
You know what they say when if you start listening to the fans too much, you're going to be sitting with them. So
Amen. With
all due respect, there's some decisions that fans of the game, we just can't weigh in on.
I'm with you. All right. Your impressions on Gesicki yesterday. What'd you think?
I loved the candidness. I loved the openness. He looked like a guy that wasn't stressed about a contract anymore, who wasn't tired of being asked about it, who wasn't tired of pretending he didn't care about it. Come on, bro. Like, you care. You care. You knew something was going to get done somewhere. I don't think he was ever worried, like, oh my God, I'm never going to get paid again. But like it weighs on your mind. You're only human at the end of the day. And I know he had a lot going on in his personal life, not bad things. He had good things going on in his personal life, but still, there are things to care about. There are things to think about. There are things that weigh on your mind, the stress of planning a wedding, and you got to deal with your free agency at the same point. So I think there is a sense of relief waved over him, a clear and obvious sense of relief washed over him that maybe we didn't necessarily see at all times during the season last year. But, I asked him yesterday if he plans on playing this tag as a tight end or if he wants to see what he can get as a wide receiver. And he's like, hey man, I'm here, right?
Right.
He said these are optional. These are optional. I don't have to be here. I have a very nice
he's
home.
not a waves
I don't
guy.
need this.
He's not a waves guy. He's not he doesn't create waves. He's not that guy. He said it yesterday that he's not really a controversy guy, and he's kind of proven that every single opportunity that there's been to be some kind of a controversy, he never does that, dude. He never goes in that direction.
Exactly. So, it is not, it's not something. I hate to be that guy. It's not something that we can completely and utterly close the door on. He did say he's going to leave it up to his agent. Every agent wants to make more money. Like it goes, every agent wants to do what makes their client happy, and then they want to make more money. It's like it's right there, neck and neck. So it is something to keep an eye on. There is a precedent for signing your tender and then filing a grievance. I believe that I believe Bud Dupree did something of the sort a few years ago. So it's not, the door's not completely shut, but I do think it's something that I don't think you need to really.
What's your gut tell you? What's your gut tell you? Because I don't think he's going to file a grievance.
I don't either. I think he's happy to get his $10 million. He's happy to get his prove a deal. I think he's got faith in this team. And you know what? I think we talked about this on the show a couple weeks ago when they started dishing out all these deals to their guys. They're setting a precedent that if you come in, you do your job, you help this team, you will be taken care of. And I think that helps. Like the precedent that they've set this offseason helps Mike Gesicki's mindset moving forward. And that, okay, I can play this year on my franchise tag. If I go play to the level that I know I can play, then this team is going to take care of me. I trust that. Look what they did with X. Look what they did with Ogba. Look what they did with pick a linebacker. Look what they have done. So, I think that I think there's a certain sense of trust, of renewed trust in this team that, if this was a couple years ago when they're shipping their best players off and they're letting go of starting safeties and left and right and they're, discarding talent, this is probably a situation where, yeah, man, I'm going to file a grievance because I want as much money as I can. This team is going to try to burn me. And I think that's not the case anymore. This is a new Miami Dolphins.
When you look at his situation, I talked with Poupart before you came on about this. And in the end, all this receiver tight end stuff, none of it matters anymore unless he files a grievance. But if he doesn't file a grievance, what's really going to determine his salary is whether he fits or he doesn't this year and how he fits or he doesn't this year and where he fits. this year. And then that's what will determine how they pay him, because what happened before does not matter to these guys anymore. It matters what happens now. So over the next calendar year, we're going to find out how they use him. And something tells me that's why you saw some guns, by the way, on that podium yesterday. He didn't have arms, he had guns on the arms. So something, and all that Kittle talk and all that, he's going to have to adapt a little bit. I was telling Poupart this. He's going to have success in the second level against safeties and some linebackers at times in blocks. He's not going to be an inline guy, but I think he's going to have some secondary success out there. And then that will determine if he fits as a tight end in their scheme. And that's what will determine his salary. Agree or disagree on that?
And you know who is in Miami now, right? John Embry, the tight ends coach from San Francisco, is the tight ends coach is in Miami. Just something to think about. You know, we talk a lot about this offensive staff, and it's usually centered around Frank Smith and Applebaum and Welker, but let's not forget Embry. That's a huge addition.
Tight ends block too, bro. That's how the running game works. Yeah, they have to do it. Yeah,
he's obviously going to be an integral part of this offense, but there are so many weapons on this offense that I wouldn't expect Gesicki to put up crazy numbers. He's not going to put up Kittle numbers. He's not going to put up Travis Kelce numbers. He's not going to put up. I wouldn't expect 1,000-yard season here. Like
not with Hill and Waddle here.
Not with Hill, not with Waddle, not with Edmonds. You know, taking targets out of the backfield. Not with Mostert. Taking targets out, not with the money and commitment they've given Durham Smythe. Like, there are just too many mouths.
Tyreek and Waddle will struggle to get 100 catches.
Like, and I think they're going to be fine with that, because a lot of these are going to be.
If you win, they'll live with no. Yeah, you win, it's fine. They're fine.
So you got to look more at efficiency. What is his first down catch percentage? What is his touchdown percentage? What is his yards per catch? Like, I think those are going to be the flashy numbers that you see from Gesicki, because he's going to be wide open, man. He is going to be. You can't bracket Mike Gesicki with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on the field, not with that much speed. So he should eat. He should have his most efficient season. He might not have the most eye-popping statistical season in terms of just the big catches and big yards. His touchdowns, they're going up. His yards per catch, they're going up. I think this should be his most efficient season to date, and that's what's going to determine, okay, let's commit to you long term. He's still in his prime. I don't think he hasn't been necessarily injury prone over the past year or two. Like, that's a good track record of availability, which they say is the best ability. So I think that, he has the season that he's supposed to have. He has the efficient season that I think he's capable of right now. Then we see it three-ish, we'll call it a 3-year deal come next off season. So it is a good feeling if you're a Dolphins fan to see Gesicki so kind of, like I said, calm and candid and loose and content at the podium yesterday. I think you especially after the mess of these past few years, I think that you can finally get the sense that this team takes care of its players finally.
So I root for this guy because I really like his commercials, and I want the commercials to stick around.
I know you're talking
but
about.
I'm far from defending that. I know he's a horse's ass, and that's Baker Mayfield. And so Baker, obviously in the podcast, you saw the comments that he would love to go bother somebody in a cubicle and watch them crumble and this and that. And so, I'd love for somebody like yourself to write a story about this and how people handle adversity. And so we watched Johnny Manziel act like a complete jagoff from his days at Texas A&M all the way through his Cleveland Brown days. And we watched Baker Mayfield, get drunk and arrested by cops in Oklahoma and crotch grabbing and flag planting. And in the NFL, he's getting into Duke Johnson's contract business and getting after fans and his wife and all that stuff. And here's Tua. Here's a guy that never points fingers, never complains. Half the fan base doesn't believe in him. half the media is bothering him constantly about trade rumors, about other players, the same one that joined his Baker Mayfield's team, and I just find it interesting how that's not praised a lot more, how that guy handles all the crap around him, injuries, everything that's happened to him, and he never flinches. And yet we watch the Manziels and we watch the Baker Mayfields of the world, and we watch them act like complete jackasses, and they can't handle adversity the way that dude handles adversity. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that I've gone on the show a couple times now and said that regardless of how I may or may not feel about him as a player, regardless of what I need to see from him on the field, he has been the consummate professional over the past. It's not easy. We have seen, when you think Matt Ryan, one of the first words that you use to describe him is professional.
Yeah.
And as soon as they were mentioned as a suitor for Deshaun, said, nah, you're not going to come back to me. I'm not your sloppy second. I'm gone. Let me go. Respectfully, but let me go. You've seen it tear other quarterbacks apart. It is it's a persnickety position. You know what I mean? Like it is a.
Oh, but you know what?
He even pushed his glass fragile.
But he handled that even with a lot of class, because he even pushed back his bonus and everything to buy them time and all that stuff. So he was accommodating. And dude, forget Baker Mayfield or Manziel. This guy gave you an entire career and a great career overall. So Matt Ryan, if anybody can be a little bit more pissed off, it would be more Matt Ryan, not Baker Mayfield or Johnny Manziel.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying, the point being that even the consummate professional doesn't want to return to that situation once it's being discussed that the team's looking to replace you. Tua just was a good soldier and kept moving forward. He is unflappable. I think Cam Jordan spoke on it. I don't remember the podcast, so I'm sorry for not giving proper credit. But he did come out and say that Tua, you can hit him and he's not flappable. And it never necessarily looked like Tua was panicking.
But
last year.
Who did he say was flappable?
Yeah, Herbert.
No. Don't dance around it now.
We're not going to start this. We're not going to start this.
No, you started it. You started it.
We're not going to do this.
You started it. You brought it up. So finish it.
How about I finish it with this? Who would you rather have?
I'm still a Tua guy. Until
Over
I
Herbert.
see, until I see the guy actually accomplish something, then I'll say I'm wrong. I haven't seen him accomplish anything.
Hey, look, the haters are gonna say I am being mean to Tua here, but come on, bro.
Again,
Herbert.
who did Cam Jordan say flinches?
He said Herbert can flinch.
Okay, there you go.
He said Herbert can flinch if you hit him a little bit.
There you go. Okay, I just want to make sure, because
if the past 2 years, if that's what he looks like when he's flinching, I'm okay with it. Okay.
So you're okay against Houston. He throws a pick six, and that's your playoffs. Oh, okay.
I'm okay with leading a 99-yard drive at the end of the fourth quarter. Huevos of steel the entire time to send that thing in overtime. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
There was no excuse for that team not to be in the playoffs, my man. You can make excuses if you want for them.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
The Chargers are like the Chargers. The Chargers are like the Browns. The Chargers are like the Browns in that. It don't matter the personnel. It doesn't matter the front office. It doesn't matter the team, the staff, the players, the stadium, the jerseys. They are going to do what they do. The Browns got loaded with talent. When they got OBJ, everybody said, oh, man, this is the next best thing.
Not really, because of Baker. Baker was always still a question.
But they still Brownsed their way to being mediocre at best. The Chargers, man, how many games did Phillip Rivers win? How many yards did that man throw for?
Yeah.
They're always going to collapse in December. Like they always do.
Okay, but, that's because – oh, wait a minute. We lost you. We lost you here. Lost you.
You got me back?
Now we got you.
There we go. Sorry, I got a call.
You got to remember, they keep drafting collapsible players. See, Tua doesn't collapse. So, they should Should have drafted the kid that came off the bench and won the title for you. I mean, that's the difference there, bro. Just saying.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Look, man, I think that this is going to work. So like reel some of these people back. I've been trying not to read the comments live on the show lately so that I don't, you don't see my hand moving up and back and forth. So just to reel some people in who I'm sure I'm upset at this course of the conversation. I think the Tua thing is going to work this year. I think it works this year. I gun to my head, I say yes, he is going to be efficient. He is going to be successful. I'm not going to say he's going to win MVP. Like I don't really ever think he's going to be an MVP. But I stand to be corrected. My mind is open to being corrected. But I think he is going to be a good quarterback. He's going to have a good season this year. But like, let's not pretend that Justin Herbert would be. If Justin Herbert was on this team instead of Tua, I think the national conversation would probably be Miami Dolphins Super Bowl champ.
Oh my God, they might have won 6 games maybe if Justin Herbert's on this team.
I'm just saying the national narrative surrounding this team. If Herbert was in this offense instead of Tua, and maybe that's
very few guys in this league. Very few guys in this league avoid more contact than Tua does behind that line of scrimmage. You can't have the worst line of scrimmage in the NFL and be one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't think people understand that. I don't think people really comprehend that.
Read anything I've written about Tua since January. Read anything I've written about Tua. I stand by my work. Somewhere in there, I discussed that because he had the worst pass blocking offensive line in the NFL, it impacted his time to throw, which in turn impacted his average depth of target. So it does all start with
Having said all that, he's one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. Do you know how great?
Because he's got to get the ball out. Because he's got to get the ball out quick. He doesn't have a choice. That's why they do that's what the RPO and that's what the play action. That's what it's for.
We had a guy here for 7 years that needed 4 seconds to get rid of the ball.
That was before my time. I can't speak to Ryan Tannehill, man. I didn't watch him.
I
did not watch that. I do not know that man.
But let's not take the credit away from, he getting rid of the ball quick. No, that's a phenomenal job of getting rid of the ball quickly because you still have to find somebody in that moment.
It was not a diss on Tua. It just perhaps maybe explains the criticisms, the critiques of his average depth of target. Like that was there was a reason why they were doing that. But no, to finish my point from earlier, maybe that just speaks to what the nation, what national media thinks about Tua. Because I don't think any of us can disagree that if Herbert was on this team, the conversation would not be no more excuses for Herbert. It would be, will the Dolphins win the Super Bowl? And so it's
they wouldn't even won 9 games with Herbert last year, not behind that line. I don't think he avoids the amount of sacks that Tua did. Nope. He had a better line.
It's a hard one. It's a difficult
better line, a better running game. He had a better line, a better running game, better wide receivers, and a better offensive staff, and he got sacked more.
That Chargers line was improved from his rookie season, though. Big reason why is
again last year he had a better line, a better running game, a better offensive staff, better wide receivers, and he got sacked more. That's it. Those are the facts. Last year, the Chargers were better in every way, shape, or form.
Real quick, before we get carried away with that narrative, Tua also missed the better part of, we'll call it 5 games. He 3 on IR, three on IR. We're going to say the entire Bills game, the entire Texans game, and then half of the Ravens game. So like that, some numbers are going to be higher.
You could prorate it, and it's still
the sack rate. Yeah, he was sacked at, I think it was one of the lowest rates of any starting quarterback in the NFL. Like rate is the number we want to look at.
Rate is red
because he was shifty. He got outside the pocket. That's why I said, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I think one of his main focuses this offseason too has to be improving his throwing on the run. Because if God forbid if that offensive line doesn't get better, and if he has to keep making throws like that, he's got to be more accurate when rolling out of the pocket. That's not something he particularly did well last season. But there's room for improvement. It's still super, super early in the process. I really can't wait to see, because I didn't get to see Tua last offseason. I got here smack at the end of training camp. I'm trying to cover the Dolphins and the Bills from Buffalo at the same time. I didn't really, I could only really pay attention to one. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Tua looks like once the football portion of OTA
a different
starts.
player this year. You roll out with fractured ribs and a finger. Let's see how you do.
I mean, I don't know, bro. That was weird. He was healthy enough to dress. He should have been healthy enough to start. One day, I've been working like hell to get the real story behind that.
You're healthy enough, but you're not yourself. And when you're not 6'5" with a cannon for an arm, you need your body to be right.
No.
He's not.
When
the
your
guy.
starting quarterback can dress, your starting quarterback should start.
No, I get that,
Period.
but
That was weird.
He should start when you have Jacoby Brissett. But when you have also a coach that's sabotaging you, that doesn't really help either. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't want to say that out loud.
Even though with fractured ribs, he's still better than Jacoby Brissett. The bottom line is with fractured ribs, you're not going to throw on the run in the second half of the season the way you normally would, because you're recovering from fractured ribs, and that takes a while.
It's a double-edged sword here because on one hand, the injuries that he has sustained all directly impact how you throw the ball. The compound fracture in his hip, the fractured ribs, the fractured finger. Yes, they absolutely
do. On the throwing hand.
And on the throwing hand. And broken bones are more fluky than ligament tears. Like you are more, if a guy has, if he's torn his ACL 2 times in 3 or 4 years versus if he breaks his leg 2 times in 3 or 4 years, you're more inclined to be worried about the ACL than the leg. Like the bones, it's a fluky type of injury. So I understand that. But at some point you have to say like, all right, bro, like how many times you gonna get hurt? Like we're gonna have to factor in an injury to your evaluation this season, to your projection this season, which is why they go out and get a guy like Teddy Bridgewater. So it is what it is. Like I think you're gonna get what you get from Tua, but I would expect to see a better quarterback in 2022 than we've seen in years past. A more developed quarterback, a more patient, a more knowledgeable, and a more supported. Probably most importantly.
By the way, you can order Edge Energy Drink and get 10% off using my code Big O, myedgedrink.com. Great elixir for a little vodka, a little rum. You know what I mean? I like it with my Grey Goose. Maybe you do a little Tito's. Either way, it's a great elixir. And, of course, a great energy drink because my man Sean is drinking it all the time. Only 78 calories per can. You can order it at myedgedrink.com and use my code Big O so you can get 10% off. Marcel, what are you working on ESPN so folks can check you out, my friend?
Speaking with some of our esteemed draft analysts to keep breaking down that mid-round strategy. Really big team, might as well use it. And you got that. Finally, you got that. I'm telling you, the Jalen Phillips, the community service story. I don't want to give too much away about it, but it is coming. We're just chopping up the final details now. I'm really excited to get on that. And then we're going to step outside the comfort zone, man. I came to Miami to do more than just football. And so I'm starting to try to work on, we got the F1 races coming. F1 races are coming
Look
up.
at you.
So getting my racing on, man, putting a different hat on here. So, trying to do a lot, trying to stay busy here. Like you said, Miami is never boring. So, I'll be busy these next couple of weeks, but really excited to see how this city. I don't know if I can say how the city
Herbert's
changes,
a big F1 fan, right? Did you know Justin Herbert's a big F1 fan?
I feel like that's a quarterback thing to be a fan of. I know Josh Allen, I think.
No.
Well.
It's not that. It's that Flinch starts with an F and an L. So he kind of.
Nah, that's a reach. Mm-mm.
I'm just telling you. That's what I heard. He flinches, so he loves F1. So it's kind of, you'll see him. He'll Justin Herbert during race weekend. He'll be at the races, and he'll have a shirt that'll say F1, but it'll say the inch after it. And
I hope your Apple Watch. You got Apple Watch telling you to like stand up and stretch. You're gonna pull something reaching like that.
I'm just saying. He's flinching. That's what Cam Jordan says. I don't know. Tua doesn't flinch, but Cam flinches. F1. Just saying. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_Louis Jacques. He doesn't flinch, unlike Justin Herbert. We'll catch you next week.
Fair.
Later. And if you don't want to flinch, you get Edge Energy Drink. All right? That's what's happening with Justin Herbert. He doesn't have any edge. So that's why he's flinching. Just ask Cam Jordan. That's your Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Time for the Lockdown segment with Florida Panthers insider David Dwork. This lockdown is brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com. Here's WPLG Local 10 insider David Dwork.
There he is. Let's talk a little Oki as the Panthers are enjoying the night off tonight, Friday. They will take on the Jets at the FLA Live Arena. There he is. Is that what kind of hat is that?
It's a goalie hat.
It's a goalie hat?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't see it. I can't tell what the hell the logo is there.
It's a company that take old goalie gear and they turn it into like wallets and hats and different kind of little trinkets. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I like this hat.
Okay. All right. And he is a goalie, by the way. He plays hockey himself. So not only does he
the goalie shirt too.
That's it. There you go.
Yeah, man. It's all goalie today.
It's all about the goalie. What were you gonna say? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. There we go. Oh, the crease shirt. I got it. All right, there you go. Yeah. Well, we got to fix your lighting. Your lighting. You got light behind you. Then
yeah.
We gotta.
I didn't set up the ring light today. I gotta make sure that I'm setting up the ring light all the time.
Yeah. We need you looking purdy here on it all. All right, dude, can't you do anything about the Avalanche? Like, what the hell, bro? Not 9-3 last night. I'm trying. I called a couple of old ladies in Hialeah for a little Santeria. We sacrificed some things. I'm not going to tell you anything what we sacrificed because then Peter's going to get crazy. We pulled out all the stops and they kicked the Kings' ass 9-3, bro. This is the only thing we're playing for right now is number one overall.
I mean, yeah, that would be cool to get the President's Trophy to finish first overall. I think the goal at this point, at least finish first in the East, get home ice guaranteed through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs because so much can happen. I mean, Colorado last year looked like a juggernaut too, and they got knocked out in the second round.
You can't lose that lead in the East, bro. They're up by like 8 points, dude. Come on, bro. There's no way you lose that lead. If they lose that lead, I'd be really concerned going into the playoffs. Put it that way.
Yeah, well, obviously at this point, they've set themselves up. They've been playing so well the last couple of weeks that they've got this great cushion, not just in the division, which is really what we were keeping an eye on all year was getting the top spot in that division. Then all of a sudden it transitioned sometime at the end of last month. Like, oh, okay, now we're jumping over Carolina for the division. Carolina stumbled. Tampa stumbled. So now all of a sudden they're kind of in the driver's seat for all that. So it's cool to keep an eye on Colorado because that would give them home ice in the final if they reach that far.
Yeah.
So that would be, a nice little chip to keep in your back pocket. But yeah, I mean, Colorado, much like I'm sure the Panthers seem to people, outside of South Florida, have just kind of been a constant scary thing throughout the year. They've just been kind of churning, just as the Panthers offense has been churning all year. So I don't know what kind of Santeria it's going to take. It might take you to kind of summon the Chupacabra to come up and to do something about Colorado. But they're a wagon just like the Panthers.
Yeah, although I will say this. There's a part of me that wants Colorado in the finals with the Panthers because I want
revenge, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Payback.
I want some payback after 27 years, bro. Come on. I have not forgotten after a quarter century what the hell happened. They took advantage of our, somewhat expansion team that got there almost, What were we in our 4th year or something like that?
Third season, right.
It was something stupid. I remember, God, it was so long ago. I was covering that damn team in the Miami arena. It was so much fun, dude. That's the most fun I've ever had as a beat reporter. Better than anything I ever did in football. better than being with the Heat in Dallas and being full of champagne and winning the NBA Finals. I never had more fun than the season covering the Panthers in the Stanley Cup. Dude, you know why? I never run into an asshole in hockey. I never have to deal with anybody in hockey that's mediocre. The hockey are salt of the earth people, and I don't mean anything bad in basketball or football because most of them are good people, but you're going to have your roadblocks in those sports all the freaking time. Hockey people are just like they're just
a different breed.
Yeah, bro, they're just human beings. They're just phenomenal. It was so good to get Beezer. If he gave up 4 goals, he's the same effing guy that had, two games where he blanked everybody out and shut him down, or he gave up 4 goals. And Mellenby was the same way, and Scrudlin and all these guys.
Yeah.
They were just great people to cover, you know what I mean? So it was fun. I had a lot of fun, and and I'm a football guy, as you know. I bleed, eat, drink, smell, sleep football all the time, but there was nothing better than that hockey run. Nothing.
No, that was awesome. And a lot of those guys are still around. I mean, like Billy Lindsay he does the radio. Jovo's on the TV. And I mean, you talk to them now and they're just as chill and just as cool guys as they were back then.
Yeah.
That whole team, was just a bunch of hardworking dudes that came together. Nobody expected them to be much. And they were having just as much fun as you were covering them. It was a pretty unique thing that they did in 1996. And I think the only thing perhaps a little bit more unique than what they did was the fact that they've done, as a franchise, nothing since.
Right.
To have futility for that long, it's almost mind-boggling.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have the ownership that we have now. And that's really, in the end, that's what it comes down to, bro. You got to have the right ownership. And Viner, God bless him, he meant well. He really wanted to do well. And at least he got Dale Talon. And Talon did make a couple really good picks that are obviously the heart and soul of this team right now. So, I appreciate Viner and company. I know they didn't have enough money to really do it like Vinny is doing it now. But in the end, bro, you watch what Mickey's done with the Heat. You see what's going on now. It all ends up with your leadership at the top. That determines what kind of a franchise you're going to look at. Our baseball team. You see, Loria was a terrible owner. You know what I mean? And now Sherman doesn't look like he may have the resources you need to succeed overall. And that's what Viola has never shortened this team in Sifu. They have more than enough resources. And that's badass.
Yeah, the Marlins kind of need a Viola Sifu to come in and kind of do that. Because like with Sherman, it's kind of like a Viner was, where the right intentions, working his ass off, but maybe not quite financially as stable as what it'll take to kind of get to that next level. And that's what we've seen with the Panthers. And I mean, you talk to a lot of the players that have been around. Jonathan Huberdeau comes to mind. He always made sure to thank the ownership, not just for investing in the team, but for keeping the core group of Barkov and Huberdeau and Ekblad, for keeping them together and believing them long enough to build what they've built now, to have the vision and to have the confidence that they could become what we're seeing now, which is this juggernaut of an NHL team. And it all starts, as you said, with those Dale Talon draft picks, with the Jonathan Huberdeau, with the Sasha Barkov, Aaron Ekblad, Mackenzie Weegar was drafted back then. So, it starts at the top and it just trickles down, as we've seen.
Hey, what's the plan for the Panthers over at War Memorial? Is that gonna be their practice rink soon enough next year? Okay.
I think it's supposed to open up, hopefully be done this summer at some point and be ready for next season. I think that's kind of the tentative plan. But yeah, I mean, they're totally revamping the War Memorial, this big, beautiful new facility. It's going to be state of the art. They're going to have multiple ice surfaces.
The Parker Playhouse looks phenomenal, bro. God, can't wait to go to a concert there, man. It always sounded good, but it was always, it was old and it needed to be, updated. And I saw the pictures on social media. I can't imagine what they're doing with their practice, because it's 2 rinks, right? I think there's a practice rink and then there's one for the public, right? Correct? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, well, the Panthers, like, even though they've got like their one designated rink up in Coral Springs, they use 2 ice surfaces almost every practice. Just kind of for the fresh ice and to keep things quick and everything and all that. But I mean, there's going to be multiple services in Fort Lauderdale too that the Panthers are going to utilize. They're going to have like hockey leagues for, adults and kids. They'll have clinics, they'll have open skates. And then you talked about the other things. I think there's going to be the Playhouse. There's going to be like a family area. I don't want to throw out movie theater. For some reason that pops into my head, but I might be overreaching a little bit. But either way, they're investing all this money into this great new facility just to kind of get the team the reach a little bit further east, because so many of the players live in Fort Lauderdale and a lot of people live out east in Fort Lauderdale and in that area. But there's kind of a disconnect between that and the hockey scene that happens out west by the Sawgrass Mall. So it'll be nice to blend that together, to kind of reach a little bit further with hockey with such a big population area, such a big like party area. You know, we love to go to Las Olas and party, and Fort Lauderdale Beach, very popular. So let's, integrate that with this amazing hockey team we got going on down here too.
All right, so you know this town, I know this town. I haven't talked to the Panthers yet, but I'm wondering about this. Do they have any plans to try to create an atmosphere outside the arena for games? Because I know the games are going to end up selling out. And as they climb into the playoffs, which we're hoping that they're making this deep run this year finally, I'm thinking they create like a Jurassic Park there, man. I think that would be, yeah, dude. I that deck is made for it, man. They have the and with the mall across the street, people can park there if they want and then walk over. I think the Panthers should try to, actually create an atmosphere outside the arena. Have you heard anything of something along those lines?
I haven't heard anything yet. To be honest, I haven't really dug in that regard, so I can start poking around and see if what they're working on, if anything. I hope, as you said, I hope they will. They've got this huge tarmac outside the arena, and I mean, I know that they have events set up out there before every game. They've got like the kids hockey rink and the inflatables and different things like that. But I mean, it would be cool if they did it up a little bit, did it bid for the playoffs. I know in past years they've had like a concert stage, and they've souped it up a bit for the postseason.
So
right?
perfect. It's so perfect to create that kind of an atmosphere out there, man.
Yeah, get some bands going, get some drinks, put a bar out there, make it a little destination before the game,
and put a merch tent out there, and people scooping up stuff left and right.
Get all the playoff gear with the logos and all that.
Television outside so people can watch it. That's it, dude. I think they could do it, and they have that atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Like the maybe at the AAA, it might be a little bit more difficult because it bleeds into Biscayne and it might create some issues. But
they shut down Biscayne in front of the arena anyway for heat games.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They do shut it
down.
But
I mean, you kind of got my brain working, because like something that you see in other cities that go on like long playoff runs is that, like, we talk about a big TV. You get like watch parties going on, and they've got that huge area. Like they do it out. They did it in Toronto. They do it in Tampa. Like you get all these people. Like I don't know what the situation is with the parking lot. It seems large enough that you could accommodate a game crowd and a watch party crowd.
They'll park a Sawgrass, bro.
Yeah, I mean, either way, like there should be room for it. If they can just get past only having 2 or 3 home games and go on a playoff run where you build up that kind of interest and you build up that excitement locally, that would be one of the coolest things that you could do down here. And that is what's going to get people's attention in South Florida, is making it the party scene, making it the destination.
That's my point. And remember, a lot of people can't afford to be in the arena. So if you have a big, ginormous screen outside the arena, and then they're all outside watching for free, they feel like they're a part of it right there. They're right next. They're at the arena. The game's going on, the win. Fans come out, they get the high five with the fans that are coming out, and they're all celebrating, and they get to buy their merch, and they buy a beer, and they're having some fun. I think it helps create a buzz. And if you can't afford to be at the game, you're right there at least, and you kind of feel being a part of it. I think it would be a cool thing, and I think the Panthers need to create that, because then that will also, like you said, make more headlines for them. The news stations, like instead of just your sports department at PLG, the news will go over and say, hey man, the Panthers are doing this, this, and that. And, the entertainment person will cover it. Who is it? Lisa Petrillo? Is it Lisa Petrillo, right?
No, Lisa Petrillo is down at Channel 4, my old station.
4. No, that's right. The old station. Lisa was Channel 10 years ago. Right?
I think Janice is kind of like, Janice Fernandez is kind of, Yeah, I think she's the one that covers that stuff. But no, I mean, when you talk about like investing, because like you can't just slap that together, right? You've got to put together, you got to structure it up with a stage. You got to get security. You got to make sure that it's going to work out in terms of like fire exits with the main exit. The arena only has that one exit. But even so, like the way the parking lot's built, where they have that kind of lower level of the parking lot right in front of the rink, you could put a big screen down there, just close off, like 15, 20 parking spots, whatever you might need to do. Like there's options. So I really would like them to see them do something like this. Cause like you talked about like what grabs attention. Like I think about those shots of like hundreds of fans standing outside, suddenly erupting when a big goal gets scored, the beer getting thrown up into the air like that. That's what you remember. Those are the memories, right? And like you said, you only get 20,000 people inside.
Pen. It's the Panthers pen, bro. That's what we're going to call it. That's it.
No.
All right.
I'd love to see something like that. Hopefully we do, as they go on this playoff run.
All right. So I'm looking at what's coming up. We're off tonight. They take on the Jets. But then
the other Jets. The less stinky Jets.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Then the Avalanche take on the Hurricane on Saturday. We take on the Red Wings on Sunday. They take on the Capitals on Monday. We take on the Islanders on Tuesday. And they release the Kraken on them on Wednesday. So
and then we get the Red Wings again on Thursday.
Yeah, they have the tougher schedule, bro. Come on. I'm just saying, let's go.
I love that this is like what you're hanging your hat on for the rest of the season. Like, let's go for the President's Trophy.
That's all I got.
I love it.
We already put away everybody else. So the next thing is and you know what? The funny part is if you watch enough playoff hockey, you do realize that home ice means jack crap. In hockey, out of all the sports, home ice compared to home field, home court, whatever, is the least advantage that there is in this sport, correct?
I mean, I think, maybe when compared to other, I mean, definitely not football based.
Sports is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because in hockey, like you really kind of build your own momentum swings and the game moves so fast. Like I can get that, but still, when you're as good on home ice as the Panthers have been, like you'd like to be able to give yourself that break at least, sleep in your own bed, have your home fans.
Amen.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, and when it comes to the hockey playoffs, it's kind of like all bets are off, whether it's, whether you're the number 1 seed or the number 8 seed, home ice, hot goalie, rookie goalie. I mean, there's so many things that can play into a hockey playoff series, switching on a dime. I mean, just thinking back to last year, like Colorado, they were up. I think they won their first 6 games all by like 2 goals, and then they were gone just like that. It's amazing what I guess mystery, right? What the hockey playoffs can do, and that's why they're the best. That's why people who aren't even hockey fans know that hockey playoffs are far superior than any other playoffs that there is. I just really, really hope that this Panthers team, man, they've come so far. They've been working so hard. Like I hope that they can reward themselves with a nice long run. They've earned it. Certainly this fan base. They've been, more than ready. I'm just at the point now where like, let's get there. Like 9 games to go, whatever it is. Like, let's go. Like, I want to see how it's going to play out. Like I want to fast forward to the end of the movie. Let's do this.
We all do. I can't wait for it because we've been waiting for this, especially those of us that have been following the team pretty hardcore every year. And we've been let down so much. This is like the year we've been waiting for a long, long, long time. And we hope we get, and I hope for Viola and Sifu because they have invested so much and they have shown the kind of dedication that very few owners have ever shown here in South Florida. They deserve it as much as anybody. That success. By the way, A. Lenny Locksmith, which of course is the proud sponsor of all of our Panther segments here with George Richards and with David Dwork, proud sponsors. And remember, we got 7 different locations throughout South Florida. We got a couple locations in Orlando and Tampa, and even in Phoenix, by the way, in Arizona, because they're going to open up even more nationwide. And you can you see the number there, 855-869-5625. They are a 24-hour locksmith. House and car lockouts, you call Lenny. Residential commercial lockouts, you call alennylocksmith.com. If you need your car key replaced or programmed, you call alennylocksmith.com. 855-869-5625. call them anywhere here in South Florida and in Central Florida, Orlando, and the Tampa area. All right, what's the latest with Ekblad, my friend? What do you got?
He has started skating. He's been skating with some of the extra guys lately, strengthening himself up for the playoffs. I think the target is still early May, which is, right when the playoffs start. I think whether or not he's there for game one, I don't know yet. I think they're trending in that direction. The fact that he's
right? No setbacks.
No setbacks at all. And
That's
I mean,
all
Bruno has mentioned it before that this guy seems like he's a quick healer. He said it last year when he suffered the broken leg. He's healing very quickly and he's getting back again this year. I tentatively would think he's going to be ready for the start of the playoffs. I don't want to throw that out there because obviously we've still got a few weeks and he still has some healing to do. But I think if we continue on the trend that we're on and he continues to heal and to prepare the way he has historically, it would not surprise me to see him there for the start of the playoffs. That's my opinion. But based on what I've heard and in terms of the way he's healing, that he's starting to skate around, it wouldn't surprise me if he's ready for the playoffs for game one. He should be back for that first round for sure. And yeah, I mean, it should be all systems go. You just have to hope at this point that the rest of the team can get through the rest of the season unscathed, stay healthy, and fire on all cylinders for game one of the first round, which will
and personally for him, and by the way, personally for him, he had the injury last year. So he's probably like, yeah, no, I need to get back and I need to get on the ice with my team. And this is one great year and I want to be a part of this. And he's been a part of this thing from the get-go, with Barkov and Hubie. So, it's more I don't think anybody wants to have the or wants to get into the postseason more than Ekblad after the 2 years he's been through.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm sure he was wondering if he walked under some, what is it? Walked under the ladder, broken mirror, something. Yeah. He must have been feeling like there was an Ekblad voodoo doll that somebody was poking because, I mean, after what happened last year, and it was scary in Anaheim when the injury first happened, I was out there. You're like, oh shit, here we go again. So yeah, I'm sure that, and that's why I wouldn't expect him to be rushed back. It just seems like the way that they're trending in the direction that he should be ready right around that time for the start of the playoffs. But I mean, yeah, he's got to be chomping at the bit to get out there after watching that Tampa series last year, not being able to help out his team when they really could have, obviously with a player that good, you can use it. Yes. So to get back for the first round, which, as I was going to say before, it's looking like it's going to be the Capitals. Obviously things can change. It might end up being Boston or Tampa. I mean, who knows but it looks like that Central Division or that Metropolitan Division team is going to be the second wild card. And it sure seems like you're sold that the Panthers are going to finish with the top spot in the East. You've kind of got a Lenny Locksmith locked up already with that top seed. So
come on, we got an 8-point lead, right? Come on, we can't see.
Is it 8? Is it 6 or is it 8 in the conference?
I thought it was 8. I thought it was 8. I thought it was 110 to 102.
I got it firing up right now. It's 6 points. Carolina, I think they won last night.
Oh, they won last. Okay, I didn't pick up.
So they've got one more game than the Panthers, and they've got the Panthers have the 6-point advantage, but they're up by 10 points in the division, which is that they just took off with that. It's crazy. Right.
I love it. I freaking love it. All right, what are you working on, PLG? And tell them about Chirping the Cats podcast, dude.
Yeah, Chirping the Cats. I think I may record a quick one in the next day or two. I'm hoping next week to sit down with a Panthers player for another one of the one-on-ones that we've been doing this season with Chirping the Cats as well. So I'd like to get that locked up before the playoffs start. Otherwise, it's just kind of grinding away here. I mean, we've been talking about, we got 9 games left until playoffs. So we'll kind of see what storylines develop as we get closer. But yeah, I'm just dying to get there, man. 3 years I've been on the beat, got to the playoffs every time, but now it's let's go on a run. Let's feel let's get there. I'm ready, man. I got nothing else to say. I'm just so pumped. Let's go.
I'm with you. Follow him on Twitter at David Dwork and watch this amazing team. As I said last week, this is one of the great teams all time in South Florida sports history. Any sports, watch it, get on board, be a part of it. David, we'll catch up next week, my friend. Enjoy the Okie.
All right, brother. Have a good weekend.
You got it. That's the lockdown segment right there. ALennyLocksmith.com.
This has been the Florida Panthers Lockdown segment, brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Call 855-869-5625 or go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Alrighty. I think it says trucking therapy. I guess he must be new. It says Big O is saying he's better than Herbert. Did I say that Tua was better than Herbert? Have I said that? Or have I said that Herbert's not better than Tua? Okay. All right. I understand that some of you out there have a problem with the English language. You may have a problem hearing and understanding human beings. And so, you were the person, trucking therapy, that effed up the telephone game for us when we were kids. And, we tell one person, then it goes all the way around, and trucking therapy then ends up messing it up. These are the facts, trucking therapy. Justin Herbert physically is a more impressive talent than Tua. But when it comes to accomplishments, Tua won a national title. Herbert didn't. Herbert never won anything in Oregon, never beat anybody in the SEC and won a national title, did he? No, he didn't. And he didn't play in the SEC. And when Herbert played Tua, what happened? I think he lost. And I thought Herbert won 9 games this year with a better coaching staff, a running game, a better offensive line, and better receivers. So I'll keep saying what I'm saying. You could talk about the physical talent all you want. Vince Young has more physical talent than Tua also, and so does Jamarcus Russell. I am going by resume and accomplishments. Okay? Justin Herbert had an opportunity to take his team to the playoffs, and he choked like a dog against Houston. All right? Those are the facts. I've never said Tua is better. What I've always said is Herbert is not better. He hasn't proven anything at the college level or at the NFL level that he's better than Tua. All he's done is put up better stats because he has a better team. That's it. But he hasn't won more games than Tua. He hasn't got into the playoffs over Tua. He hasn't beaten Tua. And Tua has a better college resume than he does. Those are the facts. Truck therapy. If you can't understand English, my brother, I can't help you at all. But nowhere did I say he's better, because he hasn't proven that yet. But he has beaten him. And Herbert hasn't won more than he has. Those are the facts. But if you want to freak out on talent and ability, then yeah, bro, Jeff George has it too. Big deal. I don't care about that. Win. Show me that you can win. Show me. And I haven't seen it yet from the kid. So, and I'll go with Cam Jordan, who plays the game and is willing to talk about 2 quarterbacks. By the way, that's the other thing about that Cam Jordan comment. He's talking about 2 guys he has to face. He's talking shit about one, not the other, actually. Okay? How many times do you hear a defensive end that's active talking about active quarterbacks, and that you may want to look at that truck therapy? Cam Jordan plays defensive end for the Saints. He thinks Justin Herbert flinches. He thinks Tua doesn't. I'm just saying, dude. Just saying. So, no one said better. No one said it. But I will say he's not better than Tua. That I will say. When he does something better than Tua, we'll talk about it. Wait till he actually accomplishes something and he doesn't pee in his pants against the Houston Texans. Okay? So maybe truck therapy, you know what you can do? You can buy him some Depends. So that way he doesn't pee in his pants the next time he has to play the Houston Texans with the playoffs on the line. Introverts flinch. We'll find out. Time will answer all with Justin Herbert. We'll see if the accomplishments meet the talent. The accomplishments never met the talent of Jeff George, never met the accomplishments. The Jamarcus Russell talent never met the accomplishments. You see what I'm saying? So, there's a guy that got shipped to Detroit, Jared Goff. A lot of talent. When push came to shove, you didn't want him there. So don't freak out so much on talent. Go tell me the accomplishments. Show me the key moments where he lifted them in big moments, in playoffs and championship games against great teams. Show me that resume for Justin. Then we'll talk. All right? Let's see. Herbert doesn't get hurt. He also doesn't win. So whatever, bro. When he gets into the playoffs and he starts winning in the playoffs, then you guys can have that title. He's fantastic. He's great. Until then, he's just a special talent. Until then. Okay? He had everything in Oregon. Didn't get it done there either. So there you go. I'm delusional, trucking therapy, and you're not very smart because you don't understand English. So it's all right. I'd rather be delusional than not understand an entire language. So now you can take the shot at me for delusional, but you were wrong because you said something that I didn't say. Never said the kid was better. Said I haven't seen anything yet. All right, we're out of here. We thank, let's see, Anthony Chang. Who else? Marcel Louis Jacques, David Dwork, and who? Oh, and Alan Poupart. There you go. And then Sean Stanley, of course, mastering the program. We thank, of course, the Brunetti family, Frank Fiore, Steve Calabro, all the great people out here at Hialeah Park. Yes, sir.
And I want to thank you, Big O.
I
don't think you'd thanked enough.
We're just here. We'll see you tomorrow. You can't visit us tomorrow. You can visit us here. You can come and hang out with us every Thursday out here at Hialeah Park. Got plenty of chairs, great food, lovely ladies that are serving you here at Hialeah Park. All of that. You can be out here every Thursday. Come on out. But tomorrow we'll be at KSDT CPAs. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.